Finally, the Grace Randolph has come back to YouTube. Well, technically she hasn't left YouTube, but she's back with her Superman trailer thoughts. And welcome to AWO Air War Order, man. Welcome to beautiful afternoon. It is a beautiful afternoon on this beautiful Saturday. Actually, it's quite warm where I am for a winter day. It's actually quite warm. Early on in winter, it's actually quite warm. But hope you're all doing good. Once you pop in. Like I said, I was going to do an afternoon stream. Yes, I did say 4 o'clock. I think I did say 4 o'clock. Yeah. I like his reasoning or whatever. Alright, I am live, so make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. We're going to take a look. Grace Randolph. We're here early. Please, we're here early on. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this at night because this could be a long ass stream. Because Grace Randolph's video on her finally Superman trailer thoughts is, well, supposedly is about 43 minutes long. 43 minutes long. And I don't want to do that at night because I'll get tired. And I don't want to stay up to like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. talking about this. Okay? But we're here to talk about. So that's what we're going to do in the afternoon for you guys. Me, whoever. 43 minutes long. Really early in the afternoon. Yes, I did say 4. But we're not doing it at 4. Okay? We're doing that. We start early. We're starting early. 20 minutes early. Please come in if you can. If you can make it. Please, I appreciate it. I would appreciate it. Okay, 43 minutes long. No, wait, no, that's not what I wanted. No. That's not what I wanted either. Okay. Oh my god, why did I get a notification from this from YouTube? See my 2 people already. All right. Okay, I don't see anybody in the chat so far. Come say hello, please, if you can, in the chat. If you can. I'm just asking if you can. Oh, there we go. Viewers are going up. There we go. Notification. There we go. All right. We're just going to pull this up. I don't know what she says. Okay, I'll let you know. I don't know what she says in this trailer. But I expect some pretty crazy, bizarre takes. And takes is going to make us cringe. Make me cringe, for sure. I know it's going to make me cringe. All right, so yeah, 43 minutes long. I don't know how. I don't know how she could do 43 minutes of this. But she is. We know how all she feels about about James Gunn. We know how she feels about James Gunn. Test screening. I don't know about the test screening. I'll pull this up. Test screening is. I don't care. It's just a test screening. I think they're positive. They're positive reviews. What else would they show the trailer? Um, like you blind. I would invite Blinded on. I gotta ask Blinded a question that has nothing to do with this. It actually has nothing to do with this. But I do need to ask Blinded this question on then if he does come on. Who cares about Hazy? But I do need to ask Blinded a real important question from last night. Real important question. But I'll wait till he comes on to talk about because it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I want to ask him. I think Rocket Red will know what that question might be. He'll definitely get an idea of it when I ask Blinded. All right, let's get on with this. Let's get on with this trail. Let's get on with Grace. I mean, I waited a week and a half for this. A week and a half. A week and a half for this. Finally. All right, let's get on.
Welcome to my Superman trailer
Welcome to
breakdown.
my Superman.
Finally! I have not been avoiding this trailer. In fact, I have desperately wanted to cover it. But unfortunately, it dropped while I was traveling. Every video that was posted between December 16th and December 26th was pre-recorded on this channel because I was traveling with my family. So my first day back, I just came back last night. I'm breaking down the trailer. I had hoped that it would drop before I traveled. Oh, I so hoped that it would. I thought maybe it would drop at Brazil Comic-Con. I was hoping it would drop the week of December 9th, but no, it dropped. It dropped, in fact, while I was driving around the English countryside.
Wait a minute. She went all the way across the world? Grace Randolph went for her vacation, went across the world? Where is Degrassi? That's where she went on vacation? She actually went across the world to England? Yeah, she was close to Finbar. She was close to Finbar. Finbar could have visited Grace Randolph in the UK. You didn't miss anything yet, Jalen. Nothing really. Nothing really. You didn't miss anything. Where is that loser Blinded?
It was a crazy situation, but I'm very excited to cover this film. I'm so excited to discuss it with you. And up first, I'm going to share some of my initial thoughts.
Oh, I know you hated it. I know you hated it, Grace. I saw your tweets.
Creative thoughts, some of my business thoughts.
Business thoughts. Fuck your business thoughts.
Break it down. We're going to go through it in depth. So yes, the trailer performed very well. In fact, it performed so well that if I were Warner Brothers, I'd be thinking, am I releasing this movie at the wrong time of year? Right now, this movie comes out July, early July, sandwiched between Jurassic World Rebirth or whatever, which I think is only not totally, and then Fantastic Four right after. Superman was fortunate enough to get the trailer out first, but those two movies are going to be really big, and Superman is, in my opinion, a little bit too close to both of them. So I'm like, maybe I should be a Thanksgiving Christmas movie for Superman. I mean, he is very wholesome, right?
Superman is, oh, Grace. Listen to yourself. It'll be fine. It'll be fine coming out in July. Where are you expecting it? People love the trailer. The trailer did massive numbers. Blinded is sus on that. Feel suspect on that. But people love the trailer. People seen the trailer. People are not exactly comic book fans, but Superman fans watch the trailer. There's excitement for this movie in the air, man. Grace. I think this is a sign that the movie might do well at the box office. I think that's the reason why they're going to keep it there. They feel probably confident there in July to keep Keep it there. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. First of all, it does. First of all, Jurassic Park. No, Jurassic Park comes out a week before. Okay. Also, Fantastic Four comes up 2 weeks after. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. There's been instances in the summer time where big blockbuster movies do well no matter how close they are. Okay, no matter how close they are. Sorry, okay, they'll do fine. They'll do fine.
I also think this trailer benefited from the fact that this year there was no Avatar or Star Wars movie. Usually, the weekend before Christmas, for the past couple of years, Disney has really, a couple of studios have done this, but Disney's made it part of their game plan. They drop a fan-friendly movie.
Um, um, that's be fan friend. They're saving their Disney is saving their big movie for 2025. They're saving that. Remember, they're saving the big Disney movie for Super Bowl. That's definitely the Fantastic Four. I'm not gonna say 100%, but Fantastic Four will definitely be a Super Bowl trailer. Okay, Disney's saving for that. Disney is saving the big Super Bowl. So when the Super Bowl happens, watch the Super Bowl day, whenever day that is. It's the Friday, something on a Sunday in February. But okay. The thing is, Jalen, the problem, I'll disagree with you on one point. Yes, Superman's always bigger, a bigger brand than Fantastic Four, but in this case, this is Fantastic Four is kind of leading us to the Avengers movie. Kind of Legends. It's kind of not Legends, leading us to the Avengers movie. It plays in but Fantastic Four plays in a very important role in the sense that Fantastic Four is probably going to have Doctor Doom in some capacity, and Doctor Doom is going to be the villain. Obviously, it's going to be the main. It's the main. It's the main important figure character in Avengers Doomsday. So Fantastic Four is going to do well because it's leading to the Avengers movie. It's a big lead-in, right? It's a big lead. Despite there being an unnamed movie that's supposed to come out before Fantastic Four in February, I don't know why they haven't announced it. It could be Black Panther 3. They kind of confirmed Black Panther 3 basically, but I don't know. But Superman is important for the DCU, to build up the DCU. It has to be about the commercial success. I'm not talking about, it doesn't have to make $1 billion, but it has to do decent at the box office, and it has to be well received. And it's important. Superman and Fantastic Four are important two different ways. Superman is important for the DCU, and the positive, the optimism, the goodwill. People want to continue viewing the DCU going forward. And Fantastic Four is about, oh my God, this movie wants to see Doomsday even more, Avengers Doomsday even more. And I know, Avengers Doomsday, the Avengers Doomsday is gonna make money regardless, right? Regardless, it's a fact. It's gonna make money regardless.
And they didn't have one this year. And so the Superman trailer, in my opinion, kind of filled that need, which has been created at this point. It was brilliant. I mean, I wish Superman had been ready to open on December 22nd or 20th, December 20th. I mean, that would have been fantastic for the
What? I can't figure out.
film. Avatar does come out next year, so I don't know if Superman could have that date, but it's going to be Wicked, Zootopia, and Avatar. But Avatar doesn't come out till late December. Part of me would wonder if maybe Superman could we were talking about creating another Glicked, right? And, we're like, oh, is it Edgar Wright's Running Man movie that's going to be that? And I'd be like, hey, if I were James Gunn, I'd be like, hey, Wicked,
yeah,
I'm going to come in here. I'll be the other half of your Barbenheimer. I think that would be phenomenal for the film. And then they could just eat Zootopia up. I think Zootopia would have a hard time.
fuck. Why would they do that? Why? Grace, shut up, man. You're making it sound like Fantastic Four and Jurassic Park are gonna make Superman obsolete, and you want him to move. Fuck you, and you make it sound like you want Superman and Avatar to do this co-promotion stuff to boost each other up. No, man, no. Stop it, Grace. Stop it. Man of Steel came out in I think June or July of 2013, and I think Superman has come out. Superman Returns came out May or something of 2006. Comic book movies don't generally come out in December. Degrassi. Comic book movies don't generally come out in December. Only a few. Marvel movies don't come out in December. Not one Marvel movie came out in December. MCU movie, besides No Way Home. No Way Home is the only MCU movie, in my recollection, that came out in December. Grace, okay? Only No Way Home. I believe all the other 30 movies that came out in the MCU did not come out in December. They came out in November. November was like the farthest month they got into the calendar of releasing a movie. November. But never in December besides No Way Home. And No Way Home is under different circumstances. Oh, cheers, man. What's up? Sunny Windsor. Okay. Yeah, this bitch wants to move it. This bitch wants to move it to December, Degrassi.
Time competing with Wicked versus Superman. I think that would be great for both movies. In fact, if I were Universal, I'd be like, please, Warner Brothers, would you consider moving Superman to this date?
No. Shut up, Grace. Shut up.
Because I think that the event quality helped Wicked the first time around very much so. So what do you think?
The event quality. Shut up, Grace.
Now that you've seen the Superman trailer and you've seen when the movie was released, I mean, how the trailer did at this time of year, when would you like to see the film released?
I know she's going to say, All-Star Superman is not as popular. I don't know why they're going to do All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman is not a very popular comic, graphic novel, whatever, arc. She's going to say that. She said it on her X account. Guarantee it.
You know, we're not going to see Batman. It was announced today, the next Batman movie until 2027. Oh my goodness. To be fair, I don't think it's James Gunn's fault. A lot of you are like, is he trying to kill this movie because it's not in his universe? He and Matt Reeves are getting along like two peas in a pod. They're in a little DC pod. But, you know, and also James Gunn, you know, I think you always have to take what he says.
I thought she was going to accuse James Gunn of being sabotaging the Batman. I thought she was going to accuse James Gunn of that.
A grain of salt, but James Gunn has said officially that while Matt Reeves might have finished the screenplay, he hasn't shown James Gunn a completed screenplay. Some of you are wondering why Batman has to come out in the first weekend of October. Well, you know, again, studios have these patterns that do well for them. Joker, first Batman came out beginning of October, and so they feel that's the date that works for the movie. But I think at this point, you just can't make people wait this long. I think it's too long. But
well, that's what I said. Whatever.
People do love Batman. Superman, I'm not so sure. And to be fair, even Zack Snyder's Man of Steel was a soft debut to the DC that he was building. They don't add Superman to all the DC products.
I think 670 million. Look, the movie is like, yeah, they split the audience, but the movie 670 million, Grace, it's pretty decent. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. You're making it sound like Superman is below all these other DC, like he's not, like, you're making it sound like Superman has become a jobber category. Grace is not Canadian. I don't know if it's going to be a Lobo. Grace is not Canadian. Oh, by the way, Degrassi, I found out where Grace ran on vacation. Grace ran on vacation to England. She ran across the ocean.
projects to get audiences interested in them. They add Batman. I know that annoys a lot of non.
Here, she's gonna do the Batman thing. She's gonna, yeah, Batman sells. Grace, we know that. We know that. We know Batman sells. Like, I mean, we know Batman sells. Batman's always gonna be the go-to for DC. But the point is, DC wants to build up other characters too. Killed up other characters. She's not Canadian. They want to build up other characters too. Not just Batman. Batman. You can't create a universe if nobody else works. If nobody else is successful and you just rely on one character. You can't do that. Marvel would not work if Iron Man is only a success. If Thor was successful, Captain America was successful, Avengers probably wouldn't be successful. If you can't, it just doesn't work. One character, for order for a continued universe, a canonically universe to work, characters have to be successful, not just one character. Otherwise, might as well end the universe, connect the universe, and start over again. Try to start over again, and then you have the same cycle over and over. It doesn't work. This is why you're not in charge, Grace, because you're always going back to Batman as the moneymaker, the franchise player who's going to be well all the time. Yeah, but here's the thing, Grace. It's a good thing It's a good thing you don't do sports and if you know sports, you got one star player, but if your team is full of other players that suck, you may not go anywhere. You may be on a bad team. You may not go to the playoffs or championship. You need other players, good players to surround the star player. Michael Jordan needed Scottie Pippen, okay? LeBron James needed Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. You need others. You need others to help. You can't just rely on one person because you won't go anywhere. Like, I'm a Batman. My favorite comic book character is Batman, but I also have other favorite comic book characters. But I understand how to build. Like, I understand you need to build up characters. Man, I feel bad for Jason Momoa because he made that Minecraft movie.
Batman fans, what's wrong with you? Don't hate the player, hate the game. But Superman has never been that type of character where people are like, "Oh, Superman's in it. I guess I better watch it now."
Grace. Superman, yes, Batman has a lot of animated movies, but so does Superman. Superman's been in plenty of animated movies from Warner Brothers. And okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, hey, Patrick. I'm sure Superman will be. I'm out in it. What's up with the test screenings? What's up? But come on, I want to get. I know he doesn't like going on Grace, but I feel like the grass is getting frustrated. I'm frustrated. Thank you, Red. Exactly, Rocket Red, whatever you want to be called. Exactly my point. That's my point. Tom King is a casting director now. Superman's been in a lot of animated movies, as much as Batman. Superman and Batman are only two characters. Wonder Woman has a couple, but Superman and Batman are only animated characters that Warner Bros. Makes movies off of. Nobody else. Nobody else. Okay. Wonder Woman has a couple. I think there's a couple. Other characters have a couple, but Superman and Batman are have the most. Okay. And don't tell me. Grace is really devaluing Superman. I agree, the popularity of Superman has taken a hit, but it hasn't taken a hit where she's a jobber status. Okay. Exactly. Like you can always keep Batman. Batman will always play an important role in the DCU, but you have to build up the other characters. You got to make them important. Okay, you got to make them important too. Otherwise, that connected universe, that universe James Gunn is building, it's a fail. It's a fail. It'll just be the same cycle over and over again with the previous regime and stuff, with the previous owner.
In fact, to make the Superman sequel successful, they had to add Batman. And it did.
Well, the thing is, Batman BVS is not a Superman sequel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Aquaman has made money. Yes, not not as much as the first one, but it has made money.
A lot better. It also imploded the DC universe, and from which it's still not recovering. But whatever. Superman fans, though, are extremely vocal, and they will not hear.
It's still not recovering. Grace, because it's dead. It's dead. That's why James Gunn is in charge now. He's rebuilding it. He's trying to rebuild the DC universe and his vision. His vision. Peter Safran and his vision.
Such slander.
Where is Blinded? Where is people?
Against their favorite character. They think Superman is the bee's knees, and everyone loves him. And it's hard to, you don't want to break their.
Grace. Fuck. Oh yeah, Jalen. Don't remind me. Yeah, Grace. A couple weeks ago, me and Blinded were on the same page. We didn't think Superman as popular as he once was, but if those numbers are true about the social media interaction, the views, and all of that, it's a possibility that it was beneath the surface. And when people saw the trailer, not just comic book fans, not just movie fans, but Superman fans, like a way back, saw that. They saw the trailer. Yes, on X, on X, technically, view counts are misleading. That's true. It's true. X misleading, but there's. I think I've underestimated it a little bit. I think you are vastly underestimating Superman. Vastly underestimating Superman, Grace. Blue Beetle show is supposed to be animation. I think she's vastly underestimating Superman.
Their little hearts, but he's no Batman. I mean, again, maybe
he's no Batman. Always got to go to Batman. Yeah, well, Ant-Man is no fucking Iron Man. Okay. Ant-Man is no fucking Thor. They still make movies. Okay. Well, who else is it kind of okay. Just delivery facts. Like, okay. Yeah, Ant-Man didn't make as much money as Iron Man or anything like that, but those three Iron Man movies made about $500 million. That's good for Iron Man's considered like a C-list comic book character. Okay, Ant-Man got a movie before fucking Black Panther. Okay.
was good and could make him Batman. You never know, but I don't see that happening here. I see a movie that's probably going to do 600 to 700 million, I would guess, worldwide. The Batman was 772, which was a little soft for a Batman movie. I know a lot of you are like, it was right after the pandemic, Grace, or during the pandemic. Little soft. 772 is a little too far away.
Oh my god. My god. Are you guys reading this? DeGrasse, are you reading this? You reading this? Yeah, so you're getting DeGrasse, you're getting Cobra Kai, right? I mean, he's done with Cobra Kai, right? This year, right? So he's done with Cobra Kai. I don't know what he's doing after Cobra Kai because I don't think he's done anything. He's solo. Uh, yeah, we gotta get more. Yeah, she goes us back to Batman. We understand Batman. We understand. If Warner Brothers did not have Batman being a success, like at least like also guarantee success, because I'll say this: Batman is not a guaranteed success. Batman did not work for. Batman did not guarantee that much success for the Flash. But I understand like Batman will help. It's just that if they don't have Batman, what do they have, right? What do they have to hang their hat on? Nothing. Yeah, she really loves Batman.
From $1 billion. Also, especially considering how good that movie was. That movie should have done better. But, if this Superman could get close to the Batman's, if they could get in a.
Well, also what I think hurt Batman was the 45-day window. Because Batman came out, yes, it did 772, but they had the 45-day window, right, before it goes to VOD. Yeah, that's what I heard, Degrassi, yeah. Disbanded.
Around 800. That would be fantastic because that would be like.
I'm ready 30 minutes in and I already did 5 minutes.
The Batman did. It would be close to James Gunn's Guardian movies, which I don't believe actually ever got to $1 billion themselves. They've come close. But
now I wish this now the big Grace look bad. I want this movie to make like 800 million. 800 million.
I would be very happy. I think I would expect this Superman movie I would expect it to have a 6 in front of it. I'd be thrilled if it had a 7 in front of it. But obviously, I think the ideal thing in these days, it would be nice if it made $1 billion. You might be like, it's the first one. Doesn't matter. It's not the first one of these movies. The character is known. It should make $1 billion. Also, I think there's too much Superman. Superman's overexposed. Not only did we just come off of Zack Snyder's version of the character.
What the fuck is she talking about?
But they literally just ended a very popular.
Whoa! Did she just Superman's overexposed? Did she just say Superman's overexposed? Where has she been? Superman Lois and Super Animated Show. That's it. Superman and Lois that just ended, and they have the Adventure of Superman. That's it from Superman. That's it. Man, I love Batman, but Batman is a lot more exposed than Superman. Yeah, this is a horrible take. I don't think she likes Superman. Honestly, I don't think she likes Superman. I think she's faking it. I think she's not genuine here. I think. Whoa. Yes, sideways. That's it. I don't see anything else. Superman heavy. I don't see a lot of merchandise of Superman. There is some merchandise of Superman, but I don't see anything else that's Superman related. As much as Batman. All right, there's Did something just come on? Oh my God, blinded! I'm glad to hear. Did you just hear that she said Superman's overexposed?
Yeah, I've seen this video, by the way.
Is it bad?
She has some. Listen, she's not gonna like the movie. Let me just tell you that.
I could tell right now.
She's not gonna like this movie.
I'm just right at this moment, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes in. She said Superman's overexposed, and that just made my mind blown. I'm like, overexposed, If anybody's overexposed, it's Batman. Batman's and everything. What is she talking about?
Yeah, Batman is more overexposed for sure because he's been in so many different things. But Superman, I mean, outside of Superman and Lois, I
And
mean,
in
what
the, in
else
the
was
animated,
Superman in?
the animated show, that's it. That's it.
Oh yeah, My Adventures of Superman, which is good by the way. They're getting a third season. Yeah, I have no clue what she's talking
Look,
about.
we said we
Crash
said
Out
we
Part 3 coming soon.
we said before we said we think Superman is not as popular as once was, right?
Hmm.
But the way Grace makes how like Superman's not popular is like Superman's it's different with Grace. She makes it think like Superman is not merely as popular as like it's lower. It's like lower. Like she's not popular period at all.
Wait,
Like
yeah.
like I'm like Grace. That's not true. And
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of like, I mean, because we were, me and, I believe it was Sideways who brought this up because it is kind of weird that they cancel Superman and Lois. Like, they don't want to have two Superman competing, but they don't mind have two Batman competing. Just saying, just saying. You know,
yeah,
we're gonna keep bringing that up because she brings that up in this video as well. Yes, Wonder Woman is not exposed enough.
I know. You know what Brad means by that. Let's be honest. I know what Brad means by that.
Oh man, I just realized what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
CW show, Superman and Lois, which Superman fans loved. They just loved it.
Yeah.
They were like, finally,
Because he was acting like Superman. That's why they loved it.
this got it right. So, here's James Gunn being like, here's another Superman. And you're like, but everybody just loved that one. The CW continues also.
Yeah, but oh Grace. Here's another guy said this is CW. Nobody watches CW that much.
Not anymore.
No.
But the Flash was popular.
Flash was popular for a while. The problem with CW shows, I think they usually start off good, and but the seasons go on to get worse and worse. Superman, on the other hand, is the opposite. Actually, hasn't suffered from that.
Mm.
Like the
Like I
Flash,
said, I never got into the CW shows. They're not my cup of tea.
they usually start off well, and then as the seasons go on, they get worse and worse.
Mm.
Also to really hurt DC, because I think a lot of people just think of these characters at this point as CW characters. And I think the only way you can break that feeling is that you have to have
Grace. The only people that watch the CW shows, I watch some of them, but most people that watch the CW shows were actually mostly teenagers. Like Smallville was a very teenager
Yeah.
heavy show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's what the
Small
CW channel is for, right?
yeah. Smallville it was like a soap. It's not a soap opera, but the way it was a very teen drama comic book show.
Right.
Like in the '90s, you had those very famous team dramas. Smallville came in 2000s, but it has a very kind of like theme setting, as a teen drama, just with
Hmm.
Clark Kent as growing up as Clark Kent before developing his powers, his stuff like that.
Right.
the movie feel very cinematic. And this movie doesn't seem cinematic to me.
Cinematic.
It doesn't feel like the start of a new cinematic universe, by the way. It looks like The Flash, and many of you, I thought it looked like The Flash when I first saw the
I
trailer.
agree with her
And some of you
here.
pointed out it's because it's from
Yeah.
the same DP. And I think that was a mistake.
There's
'Cause
a
it looks
couple
a
of
lot,
shots
and
that
I
look
liked
like
The
it's from
Flash,
the
by the way.
Flash.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was actually a very solid movie, if not a good movie. I enjoyed it. But I think this to me does not. It doesn't. I mean, I don't think it looks like a CW. I said it looked a little AI because it's some very nice shots, but I think the picture is
I
too
don't know
clear.
what the hell that
I think it's
comment
missing
even
that
means, to be
cinematic feel.
honest.
What?
It looks AI, like AI smoothing. It's just like I hate this fucking term now everybody uses. It's like, okay, what exactly is it makes it look AI? Is it that it's
It,
smoothed over like
it's
AI smoothing or
here's the thing:
Like
if
the
you could say
colors or the, like
if you're gonna say this looks very AI, that means it's gonna come to a point where everything looks AI.
there's one shot where she says it looks weird, and yeah, there's actually a video. Someone made a video about that particular shot and how it does look weird. It's because they use this really wide lens, and he's like bashing the glass. It looks weird. I
Yeah.
agree, but I think it's done in like that's like an intentional choice to highlight probably the action scenes and the flight scenes, because you could
Hmm.
see that wide lens again when he's fighting Ultraman, where it's very wide, even though they're like center frame. So I don't. Again, we haven't seen the entire movie, so we don't know how these scenes are all stitched together and what the action sequences look like. But I mean, yeah, I would say, I mean, that was kind of my big criticism with the trailer is like, yeah, the cinematography, like, I was kind of disappointed with the cinematography, to be honest. Like, that was the part where I'm like, okay, this, we'll have to see what this is going to look like.
Does she
Because
actually?
it's going to fit the aesthetic and everything. And
Did she bring up her PowerPoint, her bullet points, or no on this?
she brought up, I mean, you're pretty much halfway, or not halfway,
I'm not even.
but that
I'm not even
beginning
a
part of
quarter
her
way there.
before the trailer,
I'm not even a
yeah,
quarter way there.
not even, but
It doesn't have the
half of the
grain. It doesn't
I
have
wouldn't say
warmth,
half of this video,
interestingly enough.
but I would say like I don't know, the first 10 minutes is not even really about the trailer.
No, not really.
It's just
No.
about like all these different things. Like, by the way, she makes a mistake. She says the Batman Part One came out in October. It did not come out in October. It came out in March. I don't know why she
Yeah.
messed that
Yeah.
up, but um yeah, because she brings up the Batman. What else did she bring up? She brought up a she oh yeah, I don't think you got to this part yet,
She
where she
also think
says the main actors are miscast. Did you get to that?
not yet. No.
Okay.
She also said
Well,
like
spoiler.
I also corrected like no Marvel movie came out, no MCU movie came out in December, so it's No Way Home, not one.
Yeah. Yeah, No Way Home's the only one that came out in
Yeah.
December. And it's too late. They can't move it anyway. There's two big movies in December anyway. They
Well,
can't
there's
move it.
Avatar. I mean, Avatar's like let's be honest. Avatar's. I mean, I don't care. Like Avatar will destroy. Avatar's gonna make the
People
most
would
money
see
the
multiple
next year.
movies in December, but I don't
I,
I don't think it's a great idea to put Superman against Avatar. If they really wanted to move it, they should have either moved it up in May, because Thunderbolts is not going to do extremely well. It's not going to be like a normal Marvel movie. It's
I think
probably going to
Superman
do
has a
moderate.
chance to make more in Thunderbolts if it does move to May. But I do think Fantastic Four could beat Superman in terms of box office. But
Yeah,
I think it'll still do well.
they sandwich the two.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, Superman got dated first, and then those movies came along. Because remember, Fantastic Four got delayed.
Like
It was supposed to come out in what, February, May, and then they pushed it
February.
back. Yeah,
It was supposed to be. It was actually Avengers was supposed to come out 2025.
yeah, it was supposed to.
The thing is, Fantastic Four and Super. She thinks she should move back Superman, and she said that, right? She said that she should move back Superman, right? See,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four and Superman are very important to DCU and Marvel for two different reasons. Fantastic Four is going to be the movie that's going to lead to people getting interest in Avengers Doomsday. I mean, yes, Doomsday will probably
Yes.
do well without possibly if Robert Downey Jr. is not in Fantastic Four. I don't think it'll affect Doomsday all that much because like Doomsday will make money no matter what, but it's still very
Hmm.
important for Avengers Doomsday. Superman is important in a different way. We said this before. Superman is important in a different way where it's important for the DCU going forward. Okay.
Right.
And I heard her point. She always brings up Batman. Always brings up Batman when comparing Batman, the popularity of Batman, Superman. I'm like Grace. If you don't build up the popularity of other characters in the DCU, then the DCU universe will not be successful. Marvel has done that. Okay,
Right.
like yes, Marvel and DC. James Gunn is doing things differently than Marvel, but Marvel has done a good job of building up characters. You got to do a DCU, and that's what doing Superman. It's doing Superman. You can't just rely on Batman. It won't work.
Hmm.
It won't work.
Well, I mean, if you just rely on Batman, then the other characters, you're just going to end up ignoring the other characters, like what Warner Brothers has done before.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Enough.
Oh, oh. If they could get Mike Flanagan, what about Robert Eggers for Clayface?
Mm, I don't think you would do that.
No.
No, I don't think you would ever do a comic book movie.
Oh, he should.
visual warmth. It certainly has story warmth, but it doesn't have visual warmth, which is something that's, I
Visual
think,
warmth.
particularly important for a Superman story. One other thing before we
Grace, just
dive.
admit you don't like Superman. I don't think you like Superman.
Well, she did. She already said that. She said
Into
she's a
this trailer
Batman
that I want
person.
to.
We are Batman people too, but like we don't
I mean,
matter.
that's her saying she doesn't really like Superman as much, so she did say that.
Well,
But she doesn't like this trailer. I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, points out things that she does like. It's not like she's hating on the trailer altogether, but you could kind of tell she's not a fan of the trailer, um, just based on some of the comments that she says.
yeah,
Um, yeah,
even
so
even an exit.
point out. So I've watched it a couple of times now, especially to do this video, my notes for this video. And I have to say, I'm sorry to say that Superman and I think Lex Luthor are both miscast. I like Nicholas
yeah.
Hoult a lot. I really do. His movies typically don't do well, which is why I've said maybe I probably wouldn't have cast him. Also, I don't.
By the
Name me
way,
actor is a guaranteed hit.
it's funny she says Nicholas Hoult is miscast because now Jeff Snyder is saying that he's the highlight of the movie. That he's the best
I
part of the movie.
look at the calling that pick alone. He looks great as Lex Luthor. I don't know what she's talking about.
I
No,
wouldn't be. That's not. I mean, the thing is, like Lex Luthor. I don't think they wanted Lex Luthor to look like a typical villain, even though he is the villain, because I feel like he's going to be used in a lot more projects. And
yes,
so you kind of have to be like he's a character who's probably going to go all over the place. He's going to be like Loki, but constantly switching sides. Because he's not going to be working completely with Amanda Waller. He's probably going to turn on Amanda Waller,
or
and he's going to work for himself. Like there's times where he's like a very
he does things for
inconsistent
himself.
villain.
Yeah, he always does. If he's working with someone, it's not the benefit to the other. It's always the benefit himself. He's always has an
Yeah.
ulterior motive for stuff. Yeah, that's Lex Luthor in a nutshell. I mean, like, but I think it looks fine as Lex Luthor here. He looks like this Lex Luthor. He actually does stuff because all the other Lex Luthors, all they talk about how smart they are. Yeah, I'm like that. As
Mhm.
Luthor is smart, he's intelligent, but they don't do anything. They don't get involved. They just like manipulate all the time. This Lex Luthor looks like he actually does shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he looks more crazy, and Nicholas
Yeah.
Hoult can probably play a
And
crazier
look,
version of Lex Luthor, like someone who's like actually unhinged.
look. Lex Luthor. Yes, Lex Luthor at times looks like a very calm villain, but there's times where he does get unhinged.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it seems like in the trailer that he's kind of doing that.
In
I
the
think
mod,
I could kind of see like I wasn't really like the biggest fan of David Cornsweet as Superman. I just felt like he was kind of like too generic. It was like, okay, yeah, he looks like
I'm,
Superman, but it's like the stuff that he was in, it's not like he's like the greatest actor. So it's
but this
like,
is this big. This is this big. I mean, he's been in stuff. I mean, but this is this big break as a leading actor, right? Like
yeah, but like it's not like you can, I mean, again, we haven't seen the movie, so
yeah.
just
I'm not
but
sure, Degrassi.
like
Blind, did you?
when you look at Robert Pattinson as Batman, or when you look at certain people as their like character, it's not that they're doing like a one-to-one impression of the character in an animated show or in the comics. They kind of put their own spin on it, and you kind
Yeah.
of forget that they're playing a character that already existed. It almost feels like, oh yeah, they are that character. Um, and so I don't know, it just kind of doesn't in the trailer feel like that. But again, it's just a trailer, so it's hard to really judge that part.
I'm
We'd
not
have to see
sure.
the movie.
I'm not sure, Degrassi. Blind, do you know if you could just personally block someone on YouTube from yourself, but not from the channel? Like,
Yes, but as a mod, you still see their comments.
uh,
you have to click on their profile and block them. And so when you go to someone else's channel, you can't see them, but you could see their comments if you're a
Sounds
mod.
it sounds like a president, Degrassi. Sounds like he's gonna run for president, but
Yeah, he's like a war. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he looks like Lex. I think his features are too delicate. I also think for some reason, but I mean, Robert Pattinson won me over
too
when I saw the
delicate.
movie, although he won me over as soon as I saw him in the trailers. So maybe I'll feel differently once.
Okay, Grace. I want you, Grace. Grace. Let's get Jesse Eisenberg. You should break up Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor side by side. Who looks more? Who would you be scared by more? If you had both Lex Luthors standing in front of you, blinded, which one do you feel scared more by?
I wouldn't say that any of them are really scary, to be honest. I don't I mean the thing is like when Jesse Eisenberg did the whole bald look too, in a way Jesse Eisenberg is kind of similar casting to Nicholas Holtz. It's just we never actually got to see Jesse Eisenberg do what kind of have like those mental breakdowns. I mean, he does like the weird shit in Batman versus Superman, but I don't know, that wasn't like maniac unhinged. That was just like
No, that was
bizarrely
like
creepy
Riddler.
and
That was like
weird.
Eddie. That was like Eddie Enigma from Batman Forever on Hinge.
Yeah, yeah. I think Jesse Eisenberg could have been a similar Lex Luthor to Nicholas Holt from the trailer where we're seeing because it's like they kind of are. I won't say similar actors, but it's like they could play the same Lex Luthor, but
No,
they didn't do that with Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg is a better actor than that. Like than he was in BVS.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just direction and what they did with
Well,
the
maybe he
the
suits
character.
cosmetics.
I see Superman and Lex Luthor in the film. David Corn Sweat, I was advocating for him as well. He had, again,
But you
whoever
just think
gave him
she
that
doesn't
S
fit?
curl in The Politician, that Ryan
Say
Murphy
that again.
miniseries, made
I
David
thought
Corn
she just said
Sweat's.
he doesn't fit. Oh,
You
whatever.
said he's miscast.
Then why were you advocate? Why was she advocating for him? If
Because people just looked at him and said he looks like Superman. That was pretty much what everybody was doing. And it's like, yeah, but if you've seen him and stuff, it's like, I don't know, he wasn't like,
you
oh,
know,
this guy's like a new type of Superman. She
you
even
know,
says, I agree with what she says later in the video, where it's like, he doesn't feel like his own Superman. It feels like he's a mix of different Supermans. And it's like, yeah, he does come across like that in the trailer at least. Like he's kind of like this is the I guess generic version of Superman, right? And it's like I don't
well,
know. I don't think that was like a great casting in my opinion. Like again, I said that long before. I was like, "Oh, they should do something that's a little bit more inspiring, like something a little different where it's like, oh, you could see him as Superman, but you would have never guessed he was Superman." You know what I mean? But
that's why
no,
he's
they
the
just went with
bird.
the guy who looks exactly like Superman, which is fine. It is what it is. Um, it's
Yeah,
like Robert
Career,
Pattinson. Most
right?
people did see look.
But
They looked at Robert Pattinson and they're like, "No, that's stupid." But it's like when you see him as Batman, it's like, "Oh yeah, he does a really good job playing Batman." Like Batman himself, Bruce Wayne. Again, it's kind of hard to judge based on what happens in the
I
movie,
mean,
but as Batman, he's very like he's an interesting kind of
he
Batman where it's like,
doesn't.
okay, this is
He does not.
refreshing.
He doesn't look like like Bob Patterson doesn't look like Bruce Wayne from the comics. Like,
No, yeah. I mean, like the thing is, he has good looks, but he's not.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's not the Bruce Wayne that we know
The
based
only
on what's going on in the story, right?
the only guy that would truly looks like Bruce Wayne from the comics is actually George Clooney because it has kind of the head shape, face shape, and all that. But that was
Not
totally
really. I think Christian Bale kind of looks like Bruce Wayne too. Like, I would say Michael Keaton doesn't look like Bruce Wayne.
no.
Um, but I mean Ben Affleck kind of looks like Bruce Wayne. I mean, like the
Yeah,
kind of like sharp features, like yeah, I don't think the casting for the some of the Bruce Waynes has been off, right? It's like, okay, that's pretty much them. But I don't think that really matters because that's a look and it's a mask, right? Like they're gonna
yes,
be mostly playing Batman. And I feel like most of the actors who played Batman don't do a great job at playing Batman. And it's not a surprise because most people when they talk about certain movies, they don't really highlight Christian Bale, for
It's
as an example. They always highlight the villains. But Robert Pattinson was the first time where people
forgive the
were
grass.
talking about his version of Batman. Like they made a like, oh, like the performance was actually something that was surprising to people.
He was.
Um,
He did play a good Batman. Or
yeah.
when you play Bruce Wayne Batman, you have to play two people, two characters.
I feel like they haven't really focused a lot on Batman. You know, like Batman is kind of just for the action sequences, and there's no
Yeah,
exploration of him as Batman, which the Matt Reeves movies did, or the Matt Reeves movie did well.
yeah.
So,
They're doing the opposite, right? And the Matt Reeves movie is about him developing the public persona instead of
right,
the Batman persona, right? The
right,
Batman, like the Batman persona is the real Bruce Wayne. It's just that Matt Reeves is going a different direction. Um,
right.
Mason Jomo is considered because that's funny. That's funny,
But I
Degrassi.
have to say, now that I actually see him, I think it's partially him. I think it's partially the suit. We'll talk about it when we do the trailer breakdown. He looks more like Jonathan Kent to me, which is
Oh,
Superman
no,
This,
cartoon
I
in
don't
CBS
Simon
even know.
shit.
Like,
Comics.
this was like
If
a
he was
dumb
playing Jonathan
comment.
Kent, I think he'd be perfectly cast. Perfect. In fact,
Yeah,
exciting.
you know why he's saying? You know why she's saying that? Because he doesn't look jacked like Henry
I
Cavill
don't know
or
why she said that, because it's like, first off, one, he's too old for Jonathan Kent. He doesn't. It's just like I don't know. That
I saw
comment is just
Degrassi.
strange.
That's funny, Degrassi. It's funny.
Like she wanted like a more older looking person for
Hmm.
Superman, I guess. I mean, I would say he reminds me of what's his name from Superman Returns.
Oh, Brandon Ralph.
Yeah,
That's just I
that's the
saw
kind of
Degrassi.
vibe that I get from him.
She wants like an older Superman. You think that Superman ages
Yeah.
differently?
He wanted someone who maybe was younger but looked like slightly older.
How? But David Corn says he's 30 something. He's like,
Yeah, I mean, he may. I don't know because I just don't understand. It's like, is it because he looks young? Like he does. He look like I kind of see what she's saying, but like I wouldn't say he looks like Jonathan because Jonathan is not even
he's only 31
like
years old.
he's
Let me
not
pull it up.
he's not that old in the comics. So I don't know why she brought that up. It's just kind of weird.
I can't pull it up because it's private DMs, Degrassi. That's why. I mean, unless it's in the private DMs. I don't want to show our private DMs to people.
Excitingly perfect. But I think for Superman, he just doesn't feel like the original superhero. Superman is supposed to walk into the room and you're like, that's a superhero. And right now, David Cornsweat Superman just seems like one of many. He doesn't stand out.
Grace, this is an experienced Superman. I don't think he has to worry about that. People seen him.
I don't think that's what she's talking about though. I think she's just talking about his look.
You're just like, oh yeah, and that's Superman over there. Like, when you have like the Justice League, there's
The entire Hodgson Superman wasn't that big either. There's a lot of muscle padding. He didn't look that like
Who?
Tyler Hopkins, the one for Superman and Lois.
I don't even, no, no offense to people who like the show, but I don't even like that guy, Superman. Like, he doesn't look like Superman to me at all. it has
so
nothing to do
many
with
members of
muscle padding. It's just, I don't know, like, he's got almost like like a bit of stubble. It just looks weird. It's like, I don't picture that as Superman, but, again, I just don't
Because
like CW stuff, so that's why, not my cup of tea. I
yeah,
mean, I
'cause-
see what she's kind of saying here. Like, this is more of like his look, like the costume, like his build. Um, like I kind of see what she's saying, but it's like I thought also too that was part of the story, at least what the rumor is, right? Because it's like he's a younger Superman coming into a
younger
world that
experienced
already
Superman.
has superheroes.
Yeah,
So he has to kind of define himself in a different way, right? So
yeah.
of
we
the
don't
Justice
know
League at
just
this
yet,
point.
right?
Although
Yeah.
they just started a new Justice League comic and it has a pretty darn freaking good. Dan Mora does the artwork, I think, and
You
it's actually a
think?
pretty good comic. And they feature all
Yeah,
the Justice
that
Leaguers
is
in
the
there, and
artist.
And
That
but
has really good
Superman and
art,
Wonder
by the
Woman,
way.
Batman always
He
stand
did
out.
the Superman and
Even
Batman
You said Dan
comic.
Moore. It's not Dan Moore. It's Dan Mora.
Mora, yeah.
Well,
Dan Mora, yeah, there we go.
that's an A. It's an R-A, not more.
above, I'm sorry, Green Lantern and Flash fans, even above those guys. But here, Superman to me just seems like one of the crowd. He doesn't stand out. Also, I think the
That's
film.
actually kind of normal comics, Grace. You can't. That's not good. That's not good evidence because that's happened before with a lot of prominent DC and Marvel characters. Batman's
For
always
what?
just been. They're just not. They're just part of the crowd. Batman's also been in panels like that as part of the crowd. Wonder Woman's
Well, I
been
think
there
she
too.
means like the B, C tier characters.
Yeah, but you know what? Every major A character has at one point has is not the focus point of the comic at times. Like
Yeah, but they still stand out. When you see Iron Man in the background panel, you know it's Iron Man.
eh,
Have to say is lacking sex appeal. The MCU,
sex
as I have
appeal.
often pointed out,
What? She always has to
Yeah,
break sex appeal. Oh
she
my
brings up
god.
sex appeal with the Marvel movies. Because yeah, a
Degrassi.
lot of the Marvel movies have them shirtless.
Yeah, but only Thor and Captain America. Nobody. I mean,
No, it was not only Thor and a Captain America. Guardians of the Galaxy had Chris Pratt shirtless.
yeah, but Chris Pratt's not
Um,
an attractive guy. I'm sorry for any women out there. He's not that
he was
attractive.
jacked for the first one.
I know. Oh, and they had Bender Cumberbatch. Bender Cumberbatch's not that. I mean, they have Thor, but they didn't have for Paul Rudd. The Ant-Man they wouldn't do it
Yeah,
because
they did. They had him shirtless as Ant-Man too. They had Black Panther shirtless. They had a lot of characters in Marvel shirtless
they
for
did
their
that for the
movies.
female too, not shirtless, but they look what they
I'm
did
pretty
there.
sure at one point Iron Man was shirtless too.
What they do,
Iron
you
Man
know
was
what?
shirtless. The Hulk was
You
shirtless.
know what? Because the comics do it.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, I'm pretty sure in the beginning, majority of the main characters were shirtless.
Look, every Batman film. No, Michael Keaton was never shirtless.
No. But
Actually,
I mean, she's comparing it to Marvel, right?
I don't think in
Marvel
the
movies
original.
did do
Yeah,
that.
I don't think in the original. I don't think even the Superman films were shirtless. The original Superman films were shirtless. I don't think even the four Batman films that came out in the 80s and 90s were shirtless. Bruce Wayne. I think Christian Bale
Mhm.
might have been the first one. The Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, kind of.
It might be kind of a recent thing. I mean,
Yeah, well,
2000
she's trying
X
to
Men.
say like Marvel tends to highlight that. The thing is, that's kind of an interesting point because they haven't really done that recently. There hasn't been a
I
lot of
think it's
characters shirtless
I
recently.
think it's because some of the actors don't feel comfortable with it.
I don't think that's the case.
I think
I think
some do.
it's because most of the characters are not, they're not male characters. Most of the
Oh yeah,
male
well
characters kind of went away.
I can see that for the female cast. I could definitely see like yeah, they're the ones probably don't feel as
Yeah, the
comfortable.
female characters are not really depicted. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, we're obviously not going to see them shirtless, but
yeah. The thing is,
um, the
it's
male
because
characters like Doctor Strange, shirtless movies
look,
seen primarily by other dudes. I mean, yeah,
Brie Larson's like the only female character in the last 2 or 3 years is willing to dress sexy with that Marvel shirt, and
I
only
mean, the
men saw it.
superhero genre is a power
No,
fantasy for dudes.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, other dudes. I mean, this is not other dudes look at other dudes. I mean, people
She's gonna
go
see.
to the gym and
You
they
know what
look at
she?
other dudes.
You know why she's going to Thunderbolts, right? She just wants to see Thunderbolt Wasp. That's it, as Red Hawk. I mean, she's made
Yeah,
it perfectly clear.
but I mean, those movies, the Marvel movies that did do that. I mean, when you look at the audience demographic too, the female audience was higher than usual.
hmm
I mean, maybe that's not
to
super
has been
crazy
built
to
on
say.
beefcake. That's the foundation of the MCU, beefcake. And James Gunn, by the way, also to be fair, is not a big beefcake guy. He's not someone who aspires to that formula. But I think he's underestimating how much Chris Pratt did for his Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Chris Pratt started out beefcake. I think he still maintained it to some degree. But Kevin Feige put beefcake in James Gunn's work. But Chris
Here,
Pratt's so zany that I think that's why he and James Gunn still got along.
here's the
And
thing: as long as he's in solid cardio shape, as long as he's healthy, as long as he's in a good cardio, healthy shape. They're fine. The actors, yeah, they probably muscled, but most of them focus on mostly on cardio. Cardio is more important than
I mean,
strength.
you're not gonna build muscle from cardio.
I know. It's just that
Unless you're
you.
walking up all these like damn stairs, your legs are gonna be strong. But I mean, if you're gonna
I mean,
work out, most of them, if you see their, by the way, they are for these roles, you have to take steroids. It's impossible to build muscle
oh,
that
they
fast.
definitely do take some steroids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, it's a guaranteed.
it's it's
But they are doing weight training. They
yes.
have to do weight training in order to get that physique. You can't get it any other way. I
But
mean,
if you don't do cardio in the process, no matter how much strength you put on, you get tired quickly, right? Like you
yeah,
do.
but I mean, that's not really they're not athletes. They're
Yeah,
this is like their
yeah, they should be athletes. Your heart is a muscle. Yeah, I mean your heart is a muscle. Or it's blinded. He all of a sudden became quiet. What happened? Blinded. What happened? Blinded. Oh my god. When the Grace do the blinded, did he snipe blinded? Did she snipe blinded? Oh, there you go. What happened, blinded? I forgot to ask you.
someone called me. I hate when that happens.
Did Joey call you?
Joey called me. Yo, no, he's not gonna answer me anytime soon, unfortunately.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's that Joey is somebody from Blinded Stream that he got in a fight with.
Yeah, he's never gonna respond to me again. He's never gonna get into a party. He's not gonna want to say anything. Sad, sad state of affairs. No,
Yeah,
but what was I saying before with like they work out. It's again, it's to look a certain way. That's the whole point. They're not athletes. They're not training for anything. Like they're not running a marathon. They're just supposed to look
the
like the character, or they're supposed to look Jack.
the
That's really
problem
it.
is for roles they have to either gain weight or lose weight for certain roles. It's not
Mhm.
healthy if you keep doing it. It's not
No, that's
healthy.
why most of them, when you would see after, they don't look like that
No.
all year round.
Hmm.
People were making fun of Jason Momoa because he didn't look jacked, and it's like most of them are not going to be jacked all year round. Like most of them don't really care for that.
How many producers
I mean,
screw a
certain
light bulb?
actors do, but most
You
of
know how many
them
producers
don't.
screw a light bulb? None, because they hire somebody to do it for them.
Yeah,
Still, I think James Gunn was cool with it. But James Gunn, obviously, I mean, it's fine. You don't need
I
beefcake
think James.
necessarily to do
I'm
well.
convinced she only
hold
goes
on
to
a
see this.
minute. She says they don't. James Gunn doesn't do beefcake, but I mean, what about John Cena?
Of course, he's been
John
shirtless.
Cena was shirtless in Peacemaker majority of the time in that fucking show.
He had sex in that show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, did she admit that she never watched Peacemaker?
Yes, she said that.
Because I mean, I don't know how she could say that. Because it's like, well, we do see him shirtless, and then also in the Suicide Squad, uh
Oh,
there was. I mean, I don't actually. No, I don't know. This is kind of a weird comment. I don't know because it's like in the Suicide Squad there was Idris Elba. Then there was the guy who played Rick Flag, and then there
yeah.
was also John Cena. So and I'm pretty sure in that movie there was like a lot of weird scenes with them.
I
I don't
mean,
know if they were. I can't remember if one of them was shirtless, but
Drax is shirtless all
probably
the time.
was. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Drax.
It's good hot tubs. Oh, she only.
Mm,
Heart can also do quite well. And I think that this movie, story-wise, has it. Visually, again, a little cold, but I think Lois is phenomenal. And I think Crypto, as I said, I tweeted this when they said Crypto was going to be in the movie, such a big deal. I said, Rocket Raccoon and Groot. People love Rocket Raccoon and Groot.
But Krypton's not
yeah,
walking around Groot.
I
I
think she's
think adding
saying
Crypto
because
to
they're
this movie
animals
was a
and
stroke of
they.
genius. and I'm excited to discuss it with you
Er,
further
er,
as we
animals
break
do
down
have
the
some
trailer.
appeal.
It's finally time.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, so we start off in the snowy tundra, which of course we're all thinking Fortress of
No
Solitude.
shit, it
So
is a
I guess he's
solitude.
pretty.
Where
Yeah.
else would it be? The South Pole?
Uh,
Close, but he missed it.
Superman is neighbors with Santa Claus.
He missed
yeah.
it. He's not feeling too good. All right, so it's windy. Oh, it's inhospitable unless you're Superman. So he comes shooting in, and right away I got to tell you, I don't even like the way he's lying. You might be like, so
It's funny
nitpicky.
how she
I don't
points that
care.
out
I
when
mean, this stuff
everybody
matters. Okay?
pointed out that he was doing the Dragon Ball Z pose. So it's kind of funny she pointed that out when a lot of people were saying he did the Dragon Ball Z pose. That was like a ton of people. That was in like comment sections and
She
stuff
so
like that.
she really says she doesn't like the way he's lying. What, you want to lay down flat on
Yeah.
his back? Wait, because he could straddle
Yeah,
him? Is
she
that what
kind
it
of did because she actually does say that.
Like, what? Why is there such a big deal about such a little thing? Who cares?
I mean, that's kind of her analysis. That's the whole point of the analysis. She's looking at it from like a visual and like
Yeah, you know what?
visual
You
perspective.
know what?
But
Blindness.
it's just funny she brought that up because it's like,
You know what? I know she does that, but nobody fucking cares.
but that's her whole analysis, though. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
but
what
it's
she's
not a
bring
big.
because
I'm just
otherwise
saying it's not a big
there
deal.
wouldn't much to say.
It's not a big
Yeah, it's
deal.
not a big. It's a nitpick for sure.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
but
I
yeah,
think that it doesn't project strength, right? He
yeah.
Project
looks
strength. The
like he's
guy's been
sleeping
beaten up. What do you expect him to do?
on his side.
She wanted him
I
to
think
be
I
like
would want more of like him
in a
like strewn
crater.
out like that. It
Yeah,
doesn't look like a comic book image to me. I'm not like if I was the editor at DC Comics and an artist handed this in and says this is the cover of the Superman issue, I'd be like, you gotta redo it. I can't see his face. You gotta show me his
right.
face. He should be like this. Like.
Grace, I don't know if you've ever been beaten up badly, but when people will get beaten up badly, some dude lie on their side, but bleeding all that. Okay,
Yeah, but is it a visually striking image? That's what she's trying to say. That's the point that she's
it's a
trying to get
normal
at.
image. It happens in real life. Normal.
Yeah,
It's
but this isn't real life. It's a movie.
yeah, but you still have
With
some.
movies and any sort of art forms, you're trying to exaggerate to make something striking looking. It doesn't have to be real.
Well, it just makes him look human. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I think the fact that people were pointing it out, it looked like the Dragon Ball Z
Oh,
pose when I don't watch Dragon Ball Z, but I know what they're talking about. When he's like defeated and beaten up, he lies exactly like that, right? Um, so it's
yes.
like, oh, it's funny because it's like, yeah, people.
I know
I
what they're
mean,
talking
Dragon Ball
about.
Z's inspiration is Superman, right? So
Not 100% true. There's a little bit of that, but not 100% true. A little bit. There's a little bit of that, but not. But
yeah,
also, Dragon Ball Z is also inspired by something called from Journey in the West or something like that. But there's
right.
some Superman stuff, yes.
That's it. But it's a cool idea. It's a cool
I,
setup.
I understand what you're saying, but in normal, I mean, like, yes, this is a fantasy, but there has to be at least a little realism in it, and people do when they get beat up like that, beat up badly, they tend to lie like that. She expects a crater or something, but like
Right.
the thing about Superman, yes, he's an alien, he's Kryptonian, and he's proud of heritage, but he wants to be treated like a human, and this is one way to show him
Right.
like he's a human. I think that's
That's a
just
fair point.
yeah, right, like
Because yeah, we do see
But
him bleeding
visually,
too.
the camera's in the
yeah.
wrong place, and also I think it makes him look small physically. Right? Like that suit, it's hiding all his muscles, man. Like as many of you pointed out, David Cornsweat did the work, but you can't tell that he did the work because he's wearing his
Yeah.
jams. Okay, so here's Clark. I saw some people point out that James Gunn and his team brilliantly cast only extras of a certain height to make sure that David Cornsweat, who's very tall naturally, stood almost a clear head
Yeah,
above
look at
everyone.
those people in the picture, Grace. I mean, he is supposed to be tall, Superman. Most of those people in this
Right.
picture are women. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're because he's like what 6'3" or 6'4".
yeah, and women are
So
always
yeah,
naturally taller, shorter than men.
but
I
there
mean,
are
there are
some
some men.
dudes in that photo. They obviously have to be under 6 feet if that is the
Yeah.
case. Because yeah,
I mean, you probably have to do the same for Batman because Batman is only like an inch shorter than Superman technically in the comics.
yeah. But I don't even really think they pay too much attention to
No.
height for Batman.
Yeah.
everybody else. Great idea.
Well,
Very
how much
strong
is the hair per extra inches on them? How much is the hair?
visually.
Yeah,
I think that's very clever. This is obviously built. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this version of Clark Kent. It's clearly modeled after the All-Star Superman version of the character, where he changed his posture and made him look paunchier. And you would never guess that it
I
was
know how we feel about All-Star Superman.
Superman. Here he
mm,
kind of
Actually,
looks,
you know
he still
what?
looks leading Manny, in my opinion.
I'll say this. I was making fun of the perm, right? Actually, the perm is a better disguise because the joke. I mean, yeah, the class is the classic joke, but it's the hairstyle. It stays the
yeah.
same
The
as Superman.
hairstyle. Yeah,
But the perm, it actually makes him look. It actually adds to the disguise. It
right.
actually adds to make him like to actually fool people and thinking he is not really Superman. Actually, it's better with the glasses in the perm. All you have to do is grease back his hair. You look like Superman. He look like that's it. Like actually, it's better. It's better. I mean, I made fun of it. Blind, I made fun of it when the trailer came
Mm,
out and we saw. I made fun of it, but I'm looking back at it now. I'm like, you know what? It's actually better for the disguise.
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that's actually a good point.
Because
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
blind. Because there is the joke about how can not people realize Clark Kent is Superman with the fucking glasses, right?
Right. Well, they kind of also. I mean, in this too, in the trailer, from what little we see of Clark Kent, he kind of is almost like trying to blend into the background too,
Yes, exactly. And that's what he does. Like if you
kind of
watch the
not
classic
trying to like
Superman, if
make
you
eye
watch the classic
contact and
Superman,
stuff.
if you watch the classic Superman, it's 1978, 77 film.
Hmm.
He's so good at bending in the background because everybody ignores him, but he's also a klutz too, right? He
Right.
tends to be a klutz. I like
Yeah.
that.
So more people kind of remember him for
Yeah,
being a klutz. Yeah.
yeah,
Instead of actually looking at him where they could actually make that connection.
yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not blown. I'm not like, who's that? I'm like, oh yeah, it's Clark Kent. So he's running to work. I gotta tell you, I appreciate, the clumsiness is good. I appreciate James Gunn insisting that people will still read newspapers in his universe. Ain't nobody
Jim,
People
Grace.
do read newspapers,
Yes, I
so
was going to say that. I
yeah,
was
I don't
just
know
gonna
what
say,
point
I
she was going on
just
about, but
go to the fucking store. You can still see
yeah,
papers
they
for
still
sale.
put out newspapers, Grace.
Yeah.
read the paper. It's dirty, it's messy, it's hard to keep in order, but everybody still very much reads news sources on their phones. So the Daily Planet could certainly still exist, but
No,
I
but
think
there's
that
some
it's
people that
quaint.
prefer. Like the thing is, there's some people who like to prefer having the material in their hand than the phone to read stuff.
Right. I don't think newspapers will honestly ever go out.
Yeah, I mean, we said
There's
that
no way they would get rid
we
of that.
said newspapers. They said newspapers will go out once the introduction of you could read the news on the film on your phone on your computer,
Right.
like time ago,
But
like
it's not
years
even
ago.
the same experience though.
No,
It's not even the
same
same
with comic
experience.
books. I mean, I find the same thing with comic books. It's not the same digitally as physically,
Right.
right? People like to have things in their hand. That's what I'm just saying,
I
especially when
mean,
you read stuff.
I mean, for us, like there's what, the Toronto Star? The Toronto Star has their own website, but they still put out newspapers.
Toronto Star, all of them do. Toronto Star, Toronto Sun,
Yeah.
National Post, Global Mail, they all do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just weird take from her. It's like nobody reads the newspapers anymore. What, people reading newspapers? It's like there's newspapers all over the place. What the fuck she's talking about?
Yeah.
And unrealistic, and I think it just kind of takes you
It's
out of it.
not
People are
unrealistic,
actually
man.
No, it's not unrealistic.
Go to your freaking grocery store or go to your local. I don't
Also, the
know.
guy's a security guard.
Yes.
He
That's
can't be looking at his phone.
yeah. You should be looking at the paper, but sometimes there's nothing to do as security because sometimes you just have to sit there or stand there. Nothing goes on. You got to keep yourself busy
Yeah,
somehow.
well, a newspaper probably looks better than being on your phone because you're probably going to be too engaged.
Yeah. She is retarded for some other retards were retarded.
Yeah.
actually reading a newspaper. It's just, why can't people just be on their cell phones and stuff like that? But
Because he's a
everybody has a
security
paper.
guard.
Because the cell phone is a lot more addicting than the newspaper. I'm sorry.
A security guard is not, they're not going to be on their cell phone. It doesn't
And
look good if they're on their cell phone. Reading a newspaper, I don't think people care that much because it's not as engaging as a phone. Your
yeah,
attention is
yeah.
going to
I'm
be
just
taken
saying
away
that's exactly.
from
A phone's
yeah.
addicting. Phone's addictive. It can be addictive.
If
It's a
he
good.
was on his phone, it would honestly it would look weird. Someone would point that out. It's like, why is the security guard on his phone?
I'll play it. I'll play it. Don't worry. I'll get it.
You know, I'm like, did you guys magically figure out a way to make it not get all over your hands? All right. So here's the Daily Planet. That looks pretty good. I mean, again, you're like, oh yeah, it's the Daily Planet. It looks very, very good, but I'm not like blown away. Like that's the thing. There's like, you don't want to do, that thing like that Ryan
Race.
Johnson did. What's defying expectations or something like that. But at the same time, you want to be like, I didn't know I wanted that. Like crypto. Crypto is a good example of doing that. Where you're like, when someone said to you, what about crypto in the movie? And you're like, that's stupid.
Criticizing the outside of the day plan. Man, just have to. Is she criticizing every single shot? Seriously?
Oh yeah, this whole thing is going to be. So I think the top comment is actually makes fun of that, where she's like, like nitpicks and criticize everything, and then they go, and we're supposed to believe that she is going to like the movie. It's like, yeah, in other words,
Yeah.
she's not going to like this movie.
If you're gonna criticize every single shot in the trailer, you're not. It's obvious you're not gonna like the movie.
Yeah.
Stupid. And then you see it and you're like, oh, great idea. Here you're like, oh, it looks so much like the Daily Planet that it's a little boring.
You know what?
So that's just my
You're right. You're right, Red. This is true.
Yeah,
Security guards are on their phones all the time,
but
but just
they're not really supposed to. That's the
yeah.
thing. You're not really supposed to.
I mean, look. The thing is, not just security guards. I mean, like I'll say this: I go to stores in the mall. Some stores have no customers. If the employer who's working behind the counter has nothing to do, they'll be on the reading a newspaper or on the phone themselves because they have nothing to do. You're
Yeah.
done. It's normal work. I mean, some days there's nothing to do, even though technically you're on your work on your hours. You have to find something to keep yourself busy.
But in a movie shot, are they really going to have the security guard on his phone? No, it
No.
doesn't look. I don't know. It doesn't look movie-like. Having him on reading a newspaper at a newspaper, media company. Okay, it kind of makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah.
thought on that. So he's been beaten bad. Some of you are surprised that Superman could bleed, particularly, of course, because that was one of the lines.
I'm not surprised. Everybody knows if you're a Superman fan, you know Superman could bleed.
yeah,
He's not. I hate the idea that Superman is invincible. If Superman's invincible, then sorry, Superman would be a boring character.
I mean, he kind of is invincible, but obviously he
Yes,
does
they
have his
become
weaknesses.
humans, but he has. But every hero needs to has some sort of weakness. Every hero cannot be just unbeatable, right? Every hero has to not be invincible, and because
Right,
otherwise it'd be a boring hero. Because otherwise, there's no, like in a classic superhero movie, there's there's always the triumphant and there's always a point in a classic superhero movie where the hero does lose and then comes back from it, right, and wins in the end. We need that.
right.
It's a trope in superhero movies. Okay, it's a classic trope and it works because we don't want our superheroes to look invincible all the time because it shows what superhero movies. Why I think one people don't understand about superhero movies, and definitely Academy the award, that superheroes are supposed to represent. Superheroes are supposed to represent resilience and resilience that we could come back and triumph that we could come back from this and right stuff like
Mhm.
that. I right like stuff like that. That's what I think about superhero characters, especially superheroes that they're strong, right? And it shows that even despite even though they fail this one time, they come back from it. And that's what superheroes is all about. not just superheroes, but protagonists and stuff in other books, and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Stories in general.
That
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
was asked in Batman v Superman, do you bleed? Apparently he bleeds a lot. Someone smacked him in the face a whole
Superman is
bunch.
always
He's
bled.
looking bad. Maybe that's why his face is in the ice. That would be even hilarious. He's like, oh God, my face, and just plants his face in the ice. That would be funny.
I'm sure there are phones in the DCU. I mean, it is like the real world. I mean,
Mhm.
it's gonna be like Batman was like the real world too, and so
Mhm.
I'm not surprised by this because I've seen this happen. I've seen this too. I heard about this too. I guess it's because it's not the telephone and the computer is not there. It's not theirs where they work, but their own phone is. It's technically theirs.
Right.
I mean, you
But he,
can't. I mean, if you're on your break, you can't use your computer's phone. Your computer's your company's phone, the computer look up. For example, if you just on your break, you look up. But why is it corn? I mean, you know how bad that'll look,
Yeah, that
right?
would look bad,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
he missed a spot. But yeah, so he's badly damaged. I'm curious to see what could cause so much destruction
What do you
before.
think caused the grace? I bet you something is. I was gonna say Ultron. It's probably clearly it's probably from Ultraman, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. A certain YouTuber thinks that Ultraman. What if Ultraman is Henry Cavill? What if Henry Cavill's back as Ultraman?
I seen someone say that too. They're like, "Oh, well, could you imagine?" Like, there's no way they would do that.
It sounds like desperation. It sounds like
It would be. It would. First off, it would take so many people out of the movie.
yeah, yeah, it would.
Superman. All right. Oh, he's really. Oh, he's not looking good.
No shit.
But I don't know. I still feel. I don't know. There's like a softness to it, which I don't know if Superman should have. That's a pretty good shot.
Here's
Though.
the problem, Grace. You're treating it like super. The problem with fans is, I know Zack Snyder tried to do this, but the problem with Zack Snyder, he doesn't execute it up. But Grace, you're trying to treat like Superman is not like a living being, that he's a god and all this. No, 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 no.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me one second.
Superman is always want to be treated like a human being. Okay? Always, okay, that would be very, always want to be treated like a human being. There has to be softness to him because he's a living thing with feelings, emotions, stuff like that. Okay? You can't treat him like an animal, okay? I know, sideways.
Okay. So, you better hope it does well. James Gunn, beware Patty Jenkins.
Oh, I gotta wait for blind for this. Grace prefers Sentry over Superman. Yeah. Imagine yourself angering the world's richest man on his own social media platform, and he uses his every resource to make your life unlivable for the rest of your life and the rest of your family. So yeah, that sounds like Elon Musk would do. I'll wait for Blinded to come back. Yeah, she does. She does. Great. She does. I want to see what she says.
Jenkins' legacy, where Patty Jenkins was like, on Wonder Woman 2, remember she was like, nobody did this but me. It was all me. And then it failed horribly, and everyone was like, well, it was all you, Patty. So,
What's she trying to
I
make?
just think I would have instead played up, it's the iconic DC superhero, right? I mean, like a soft.
What's she
So
talking about, Patty Jenkins?
you better hope it does well. James Gunn, beware Patty Jenkins' legacy. Where Patty Jenkins was like on Wonder Woman 2. Remember, she was like, nobody did this but me. It was all me. And then it failed horribly, and everyone was like, well, it was all you, Patty. So I
Oh,
just think I would have instead played up, it's the iconic DC superhero, right? I mean, like, once it does well, you'd be like, it was me. I mean, Kevin Feige doesn't have to plaster his name all over everything, and yet he's still very much at the center of the conversation. All right, so here's the newsroom of the Daily Planet. That looks not bad.
yeah. You don't think Kevin Feige has taken criticism? Come on.
I like all the screens, but they should technically be on different things, because, just like a newsroom would be.
Um, Grace, look at the room. Oh, I expected blinded. Look at the room, Grace. There's desks everywhere. There's desks everywhere. Of course, you're gonna have TVs at different areas of the room because of where the location of some of the people are sitting. Okay, and it's a newsroom. They have to have a bunch of TVs so people can get up to date and stuff.
Although I have to say, if you look, for instance, like the New York Times, there should be a much bigger staff. Although maybe the Daily Planet.
Grace, I think most people that write articles for the papers, I think they write at home now. I think most of them do it at home, right? You correct me if I'm wrong. I think when people write for the papers and trades, I don't think they could do. They don't. They only go to the office if they need to. But I think they write mostly at home now, right? So I think most people write at home.
Planet, like many news organizations, has had some cutbacks. So
Oh,
this
you
is a
think they're
very small.
cutbacks? You know, this is a fantasy world, right? Exactly, Degrassi. Cutbacks. This is not real life. I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily cutbacks. What is she talking about?
Bullpen, lots of space. How can they afford all that space? They'd never have that much space in real life. Real estate.
The Degrassi. That's because. Oh, she probably did. That's because Grace Pico Day Plan's probably doing very well. And why can they afford that space? Well, who's the number one source on Superman? Okay, and that's why they're doing well. When you have something like Superman out there, the readers, not just the readers in the Day Plan, is clearly the one covering Superman the most. Superman's gonna sell. That's why they can afford the space. They're making money off of that. Think about it, Grace. Think about it. Come on. And you say you know business, huh? Um,
It is expensive. So here's Lois. Rachel Brosnahan, you make me so happy. I have to say, I saw a quote from Rachel Brosnahan talking about why she and Superman / Clark Kent get along so well. And that's because they both fight for truth and justice, but in different ways. Although Superman's like, I technically fight both ways because I too am a reporter, but I don't see you saving anybody. Don't She-Hulk Lois Lane, please, where she goes around saying she's the same thing as Superman, if not better. Don't do it. We saw what happened to poor She-Hulk. But yeah, so I liked that idea of a reporter. Like that's what a journalist does, and also fights for truth and justice. And they've taken out the American way because we're a
Lois Lane has always been like that.
global universe
Now,
these days, baby.
who I want this Lois Lane to be? I want this Lois Lane to be a mix of Margaret Kidder's Lois Lane and the Lois Lane from the animated series. Strong, independent will, but kind of has that sassy attitude, kind of that strong attitude, you know, that kind of attitude. Not the Amy Adams Lois Lane, because the Amy Adams Lois Lane was not a good Lois. well, before. Okay. Lois, I want this Lois Lane to call him Smallville. Okay. Absolute show.
All right. So I like that quite a bit. Just be careful how it's presented to the audience.
Just be careful.
So she's using a Daily Planet
You're an idiot. Grace, come on.
mug and she's reading the Daily Planet. If only she had a Daily Planet t-shirt on. That's a lot of Daily Planet. She's like, please don't make this newspaper go out of business.
Yeah.
All right, so she's looking at it herself. Again, I don't know why. She should be on her cell phone. All right, but she looks...
Because she works for Daily Planet and she likes reading the paper. Grace, go outside, please. Just go to a grocery store or a convenience store, and you can see that people still read the paper, still sell paper. Yeah, down and out in Beverly Hills today.
looks great. I'm very excited about her Lois. Could not be more excited about it. This might be some of the best casting of all time.
You sound excited about Lois, but you don't sound excited about Lois.
All right. So here we go. It's so Rachel Brosnahan. If you've ever seen Mrs. Maisel, you can totally see a lot of the performance similar. Oh, there's Jimmy in the front. He too is reading a paper. It must be hot off the presses. Is this like six?
Hey, Grace. Maybe Degrassi. Grace. Here's something I tell you. If everybody's reading a cell phone, why bother having an actual office? Why bother having an actual newspaper office? If everybody's reading on their phones, why does everybody work at home? Send it to one guy, send it to editor Perry White, and just put it on the website. Why? You know what? This. How about they sell the Daily Planet to a real estate person or somebody, and they can change it to whatever they want. Might as well not have a Daily Planet or a Metropolis Star, or anything. How about this? Gotham Gazette should not have their own building either. How about that? Just everybody can work at home, and they can send to one person and put it all together on the website. Let's get rid of newspapers in general. How about that? And newspaper office buildings. How about that? Because everybody can be on their cell phone, right? How about that? Man, go touch. Seriously.
In the morning, should they be focusing on tomorrow's paper? Also, now in the news organization, with
maybe they are focused on tomorrow's paper, and just maybe we're reading today's paper.
Being a digital news cycle, it's not a 24-hour news cycle. You're not waiting for the next paper. You're dropping stories constantly. So where's Perry White yelling at everybody, being like, when did you drop a story? You should be dropping stories every few hours. Clark has a pretty nice desk. I'm shocked his desk is so nice. He must be doing pretty well already. This isn't.
Yeah, he should have. Clark should have a sloppy desk, a dirty desk. Clark has always been a clean person. Always been clean. He's never been a sloppy person.
An origin story, but wow. I don't even think Lois has as nice a desk as he does.
I bet you Lois has as nice a desk as he does.
A very nice spot. I mean, that's a coveted spot in the newsroom. He's got a corner. I mean, he's right near the hallway where he can see everybody, but yet he still has a little bit of privacy. Although I have to tell you, working at a cubicle sucks. You have almost no privacy. It's difficult. All right. Speaking of people take your chair, I've worked at a couple. I've like when I mean some of the iterations over the years of where I've been making these videos. Sometimes I've been in a cubicle, and I always hated it. All right, so she's looking over at Clark. Interesting. She looks great. She looks so great. So there's Clark. He looks not as good.
Oh.
I mean, he's doing the what me Clark Kent. I don't know. I prefer Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent was very much in on the joke, right? Like that Clark Kent was something he was
How do you,
putting on.
Grace. Listen, I don't think you've been. I don't know if you've been. I don't know if you've been told this, but Clark Kent's Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent. That was an origin story. That was the beginning of his relationship with Lois. That's when they just met each other. This Clark Kent and James Gunn is already established Superman, and it's established in the trailer that Lois knows Clark is Superman. And it's a total two different situations. He's not. He doesn't have to be on the joke with Lois. Okay. Oh, thank you, Degrassi. Yeah, that's hilarious. Mason Jamoa. It's two different situations. One's an origin, a beginning. The other is already happening. It's already like in. Wow. It's already happening. Like Superman's established for a while, and Lois. You can clearly see in the trailer that Lois knows Superman is Clark. Okay. Why does he have to be? Why does he have to be in on the joke? In on the joke with Lois. Why? Maybe that's happened in the past. I don't know.
Which I liked. I thought that was very funny between him. I liked the banter between Christopher Reeve and Margot Kidder. Here, it seems like he just is this person or an amazing actor. He's like, and scene. All right. So, don't put that in there. We're in a different area, my friend.
Why not?
So there's the new Kent.
Why not? Why is he not allowed to put the director from Guardians of the Galaxy? Why not? It's good. I like that.
Kent Farm. I have mixed feelings on this. On the one hand, like as someone who likes representation and being very real, I like that it represents Middle America today and the hardships that Middle America is facing. But yet, I think a lot of what if you live in Middle America, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. But I think that a lot of what Middle America has always prided itself on is that it represents an idealistic America. And I don't think, I don't see any element of that here. I'd probably maybe want an idealistic farmhouse that's seen better days.
Grace. You want to see the idea? How do you know there's not a farmhouse? All you see is the house. Did you watch Christopher Reeve's You saw Christopher Reeve's Superman. I know, look at this picture too. There was a house in Christopher Reeve's Superman, and there was also a farmhouse in Superman. How do you know there's no farmhouse here? We just see this house in a field of 4 cows. Where do you think the cows go in at night? You think they just sleep there? Where do you think they go in? That's a stupid take. This is a stupid take because this is a fucking stupid take. My God, this is one of the fucking stupidest takes she's ever made, Blinded. This represents Middle America. Where's the farmhouse? It's like, where's the farmhouse? I'm like, this is just a house.
Uh,
How do you know there's no farm? There's probably just a farmhouse. There's probably a farmhouse.
no, why she? This is this is why I say she's not gonna like this movie, right? Because what in the hell is this criticism? Like, this is one of the most bizarre things. The thing is, they picked a house that is this is kind of the thing is the house I feel represents what she's talking about. So it's what is she even on about? It's you don't even live in Middle America.
Yeah. She's a New Yorker. She's from New York.
Yeah, this is just, I don't know. This is something, I don't know what kind of criticism this is. It's just so bizarre.
And this is
Like
just a
I,
trailer. It's just a trailer too. How do you know there's not a ranch? See a ranch. You think a ranch has like
but
yeah.
you
See like
see animals on the farm.
yes. Thank you. You see cows.
Yeah, so like this is what I'm saying. I'm like, what the hell is she talking about here?
Does she know what Middle America is?
No, she doesn't. Because it's like, what kind of criticism is this? It's like, it's so bizarre. It's like a really, like, okay, now you're digging your heels into the sand, like, holy shit. Because like, yeah, what I was saying before, it's like, most of this is negative. It's like, oh, the house
This is
doesn't
gonna make
really
it.
represent middle America.
This
Like
is
it,
gonna
they
make
should
it.
have picked a better house. It's like,
This,
okay, like, come on, like, that's not a
Landon.
big deal.
This is gonna make the biggest difference if it's a good or a bad movie. This one scene.
Yeah, like you can nitpick the suit, the actors, they like I think that's fair. That's totally fair. But like going into like the house and like come on, like that's not a big deal. Let's be honest.
No, it's just that's
right?
how you know she's not gonna like it because we're stupid takes like that.
Although someone here might be like, "Dear Grace, that's my house, so thanks a lot." And I'm like, "I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
trees are beautiful. Those are some beautiful trees, and those cows are okay in the front."
Yeah, where do you think the cows go? Where do you think the cows going to sleep, man?
Yeah, in a barn.
Yeah,
There's probably barn
So
on the other side. You're just not seeing it.
yeah. You actually what? You actually heard an industry professional with ties to DC's complaining about the cows in the front yard, but that's fucking ridiculous. They live on a
Yeah.
farm. There should be animals, cows,
Wait, I
sheep,
actually heard
whatever.
an industry professional with ties to DC actually complain about the cows in the front yard.
But but they live in a farm. There should be animals. Whether it's cows, sheep, horses, it makes sense.
I don't know. That it's just a weird kind of nitpick criticism where
Hey,
you're like,
red.
really? This is what you're going to present to the
How about this?
audience?
Imagine they live in Middle America and you have powers that you can save like super speed and you can save your father, but you decided not to and told not to by your father from a tornado.
Huh.
I had to try to do that. Farmers didn't keep cows in their front yard when I was a kid.
Joaquin Phoenix will come running in and be like, "Protect these cows. What are you gonna do with these cows?" All right.
Fuck. What? What? Fucking. I don't. What?
So there's Clark and his dad. I hope they don't kill off John. I'm not a fan of the killing of Jonathan Kent, his senior. Not how they name Clark and Lois' son after that.
Oh
After
my
that.
fucking god! What? You don't have to bring that up.
Yeah, I don't know why she keeps bringing up Jonathan Kent.
Yeah.
It's like they're not doing the son just yet. Like we know Jonathan Kent is the fucking dad. Like, come on.
Yeah.
His father. Not a fan of
I
it.
agree. I mean, you don't have to kill off this. There has been incarnations where the father doesn't die. The animated series from
Yeah,
the '90s is alive.
yeah. I mean, we just don't know the context of the scene. Is it a flashback? Doesn't look like a flashback, but who knows?
I don't think it's a flashback. They do occur in cities. That's true. That's true.
I don't think it's like the Disney way of thinking. We got to kill off one of the parents. And you're like, no, he can have a nice, healthy relationship with his parents. In fact, opposite of Batman, that's one of the defining aspects of Superman. He has that touchstone. And
I
both
mean, his parents. I mean, Jonathan Kent does play an important role of shaping up Superman, Clark,
Hmm.
the human side of things, but also technically his dead father also helps that too.
Right.
So technically, he has dead parents that help shape who he is. Like Batman has, like Batman. Yes, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. His parents did die when he was young, but it was what his father built into him, that help him strive to be a better person, like help him to be good morals and stuff like that, do what's right.
Right.
Okay. Same thing here with Jor-El and Jonathan Kent.
and his father. So, Again, interesting. Not at all idealistic in the way they present. Going very much for it's tough here in Middle America, which it is. It's very tough right now, as it is all over the world. But that doesn't mean you can't comb your hair. Some of you are like,
It's tough in Middle America. So is everywhere else. Fuck, like it's tough everywhere, man.
very ironic for you to say that, Grace. I'm trying. I'm not in a movie with the hair and makeup team off to the side. Okay.
Thank God.
So,
All right.
Are you
So
gonna criticize him putting his arm around his shoulder, Grace?
I don't think Jonathan Kent's going to be around that long.
Oh.
So this summer, we're like, no, move it. Oh, so he's whistling. Oh, a little blood come out.
I mean, there has been incarnations where Kent did base Bruce Wayne. Hasn't there been? Haven't they done that? And where there has been,
is
hasn't
an
there been?
Elseworld story?
Yeah, Elseworld. Hasn't there been Elseworld where Superman, Clark Kent was the son of his parents were murdered in an alleyway, and also that Bruce Wayne was raised by the Kents?
Something like that.
Yeah. She
Yeah, I
needs a
don't.
new wig.
I wouldn't know, but yeah.
She thinks you think that's a wig? You really think that's a wig, Degrassi?
By the way, I have to tell you, I did love the memes that if he had a super cat, he would die in the snow. That was hilarious. All right.
Not necessarily.
So there comes crypto. When I was traveling, I did show this to my family members, and they went nuts over crypto. They didn't care for I mean, my dad loved it. My dad's a big Superman fan. He was like, this could be the biggest movie of all time. And I was like, Dad, I love that you're so happy about this. As for the rest of my family...
That's her saying, Dad, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
This is what she basically said. It's like...
You have to break your dad's heart? Really?
Yeah, it's like, Dad, this is not a good trailer. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. That's how much she hates James Gunn. She's really to hurt her own father. Burst her father's hype for this movie.
Yeah.
family, they really liked crypto. So I was like, very smart to have crypto. He's so cute. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's not that fast.
My God, Grace. That sounds too sexual. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Come on, Grace. Stop.
Oh, man.
All right, so there he is. Oh, and so this is modeled on James Gunn's own dog, who has a crazy ear like that. And he's a rescue dog, James Gunn's dog. And so I think that I can see the campaigns now. Not only do you do an ad campaign for crypto and Petco, all the pet stores. You're like, hey, is your pet a super pet? But also, you're like, crypto's a rescue animal. Just saying.
I'm guaranteed they're not going to do that.
I probably will have a bunch of super pet stuff around pet stores. I could definitely see that. I can definitely see that. That would be like marketing genius. I agree with that.
PetSmart.
Yeah, PetSmart. You go to PetSmart and you see like the little cape for your dog. Oh yeah, they would do stuff like that for sure. They'd probably make a killing on that.
Man has a rescue animal. James Gunn does. Do you? So I think that's going to be a really wonderful campaign in many ways. And it will also not only help the movie, but potentially do good. And then also, I think a lot of people like to think that could be their pet. People love dogs. They love animals. I mean, they're huge. Those videos are huge on Twitter.
Dogs. Some people are allergic to dogs. Don't love dogs.
Damn, that sucks for them.
And social media. And so I think people will be like, to their own dog, they're like, you're like my crypto. You're crypto to my Superman. And so I think it's very...
there was that Super Pets with The Rock and Kevin Hart in it.
Oh, Pound.
They want us to forget about that movie, though.
The Rock voiced crypto.
Yeah, he did.
And Kevin Hart was what is Batman's dog's name? I forget.
Ace.
Bay? Oh, that's a bad name. I'm sorry. Change it.
It's always been Ace.
Ace? Oh yeah, Ace. Actually, it's not a bad name. Actually, I like it now. But
Very, very smart. All right. So
But
there.
the fact Kevin Hart was voicing Ace at Batman,
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to be kids cartoon, so it makes sense. This is that
It was The
Ace.
Rock doing The Rock as usual.
Yeah,
They did have a cartoon show though. I remember that. Crypto. Let me go look that up. Give me a second.
Crypto and what's the cat's name from Marvel? Fuck, Falarkin? I don't know.
There's Crypto. He's like, what's going on, man? Superman's like, it's pretty evident. I'm
Yeah,
lying in the
Crypto.
snow.
I remember the show. I used to
Lassie, you
watch
are.
it. Crypto, the super dog, and I had Ace, and then it also had the cat that was, the Flash's cat.
Black Adam had a dog too.
Not. Okay. But this is actually, this is kind of like Lassie. That's fascinating. That's really smart. People loved Lassie. Is there trouble
What? It doesn't look anything like Lassie. What's she talking about?
in the well, girl? Here it's like, take me home. So he's like, I don't know. I mean, can't he grab his collar? I wonder if the suit, the cape is sewn in like that so he can drag him home like that.
No, it's to smell the scent. That's what he was doing then. That's what you do for dogs. Here's Black.
I was wrong. It was not the Flash's cat. It was Supergirl's cat.
Streaky, yeah. Streaky, yeah. That's
Yeah, I
Supergirl's
just saw. I
cat.
just
Yeah.
saw that. Yes.
I
Yeah,
remember
Degrassi put
that.
in the comments too.
Cruz,
Yeah.
thank you. Um,
He doesn't seem to be able to fly. Is he just gonna drag Superman over the ground? All right. Well, anyway. All right. So yeah, he's gonna take him home. All right. So that's very cute.
Godzilla.
All right. So what's wrong with this girl? Hello. How do you? I mean, we'll see. We'll see if there's an
Are you
explanation.
seriously like shaming a girl? Like, what's
She
wrong
was
with this?
looking at her. She was looking down.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this. It's like
Drag him home like that. He doesn't seem to be able to fly. Is he just gonna drag Superman over the ground? All right. Well, anyway. All right. So yeah, he's gonna take him home. All right. So that's very cute. All right. So what's wrong with this girl? Hello. How do you? I mean, we'll see. We'll see if there's an
are you fucking shaming the girl? Are you shaming the girl for?
explanation as to why she's not aware of what's happening here. So yeah, we got another kaiju. There is a kaiju in the Suicide Squad from James Gunn, but whatever. All right, I don't even know what that is. It looks like some kind of air canisters or something. So Superman comes in. Oh, he saves her. All right. Why doesn't he just fly her out of there? Superman's like, don't Monday morning quarterback me. Whatever. I'd be like, let's just leave because it could get worse. Just zip me out of here, man. All right. I mean, because then it wouldn't be this amazing shot. Thank you. It's okay. I don't love this shot. All right. I love that shot.
She does have a point that she could fly her out of there, but let's be honest, those things are not gonna do anything. They're gonna hit Superman in the back. It's not gonna do anything. So she'll be protected either way.
The reason why she just said it herself. It's because the shot looks cool.
It does.
That's why it's in the freaking movie.
I mean, yeah, realistically, he should, right? Be able to. He would, but it doesn't really matter because those things are not. Yeah,
they want the shot.
Exactly. They want to show him that how durable he is.
Yeah.
Love this shot. This is actually potentially my favorite shot in the trailer. It's a business.
This is her
it's
favorite
business,
shot.
It's a business shot.
Like,
all right. So
where it's like, again, she has weird ass taste. Where it's like, yeah, this shot is him getting mad. Like the idea of it is cool, but it's like, it's just him with his back turned, and then he sees Superman. It's like, come on, Grace. Like, really, like. This is what she has really weird taste, in all honesty, because it's like there's way better shots than this.
Yeah, there are.
So I love that Superman's flying by, and I love that Lex turns. That is an incredible shot. That is by far and away, I think it is my favorite shot in the trailer, and an amazing shot of Lex Luthor. It's everything that I want from this situation. So that's just great. Luthor Core? What the F is Luthor Core? Now some of you
are core. Did I hear core? Like CORE?
Yeah, she did say core. Corp.
Luther Corp. I'll just read.
Luther Corp.
like, excuse me, guys. That is the name of the corporation. Before Lex Luthor took over, his father had named it Luthor Corp because his name wasn't Lex.
Luther Corp.
Yeah, it's
And
Luther
so
Corp.
Lex changed it to LexCorp when he assumed position.
Yeah, that's
Lex
right.
Whatever, I don't care.
Corp.
Everybody knows it's LexCorp, except for
Grace, you don't care, but that's how it happened.
She keeps saying Lex Core. It's Lex.
Look,
I
look,
can't even. God damn! She keeps saying Lex Core.
Grace. Yeah, we told Grace. You said you don't care,
Corp.
but that's what literally happened. That's what happens. That's what the name change happened. Oh my God, Grace. Look,
trailer and an amazing shot of Lex Luthor. It's everything that I want from this situation. So that's just great. Luthor Corp? What the F is Luthor Corp? Now, some of you are like, excuse me, Grace. That is the name of the corporation. Before Lex Luthor took over, his father had named it Luthor Corp because his name wasn't Lex. And so Lex changed it to LexCorp when he assumed position. Whatever, I don't care.
but you have to keep.
Whatever. I don't care when it's something I don't like, and there's an explanation to why it's the way it is. I don't like it. It should just be Lex Core.
Yeah,
She can't even
because
say it. She keeps saying Lex Core. Lex Core. She just keeps saying it over and over. Core. It's Corp. There's a P at the end. There's no
yeah,
E.
it doesn't even look. He doesn't even look at the E.
Also, if he if this is the beginning part of both of their careers, he's not gonna change it right away. I mean, relax, man, relax. Again, with the nitpicking, it's like,
And she just
oh my God.
she just dismissed what everybody's telling her. It's like, oh, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter because it's like
Because
because again, it doesn't suit what she likes or whatever. It's like, here's the explanation of why it's there. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that.
there has been for backstory for Luther, and there has been some backstories for Luther that has to do with the family, whether it's with the family business, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Especially Smallville explained that. I mean, Smallville, Lex Luthor was son of Lionel Luthor, who was rich, wealthy,
everybody knows it's LexCorp.
and by him changing the LexCorp just makes him more arrogant, more narcissistic as he is, right? Like,
right. I mean, this is
which
such a bizarre nitpick because it's like
yeah,
this is not. No one is going to really care if it's called LexCorp or
no,
Luther Corp.
because it doesn't matter.
I
Because
mean,
like
to be
everybody
honest,
knows
it
it's the
being
same person.
yeah, I mean, they probably will change it, but yeah, I mean, LexCorp, they probably will change it because it's more of a story reason. Like, if it's just LexCorp, it does sound it just kind of looks a little weird that it's like, oh, his company's name is named after his first name.
Yeah,
Typically, it's usually the last name.
last name. Yeah,
So it kind of
that's how
supposed to
companies
show
are.
his
Oh,
like narcissist and his,
because
like
companies are usually a family are named after a family name, and that's by the last name, not the first name.
yeah. I
Right.
mean, the whole point is though, like it would make more sense if it's a story point for him to change it to show his how like egocentric he is and narcissistic.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
again, it's I don't know why this is being brought up. It's like again,
That's
we haven't watched the movie. You're going off of what
this.
is in the trailer, and it's like you don't even know if in the same movie they change it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like that's why I say it's a nitpick because it's like
she does.
what are you complaining about? You don't even know the context of what's going on here.
I don't think she understands businesses named after people's like other
Yeah,
businesses
their
named.
last names, that is way
Yeah,
more common, yes.
yeah, because it's a family business. It's usually a family business.
Also, by the way, for someone who wants this new iteration to stand on its own, he then reverts back and says, well, here they're doing stuff that is different and I don't like it. So it's like, again, that's why I say this is really more of a nitpick. Like,
This
and she's just and like I said, it just shows that she really doesn't like the trailer and she doesn't admit that she doesn't like the trailer, which again, this is her just playing those
her
type of games where it's like she's not gonna she never actually comes out and just says, "Yeah, I don't like it." She doesn't have the. Well, I mean, she doesn't have balls, but I mean, like, she doesn't have the balls to do that, to come
Yeah,
out and say she doesn't like something that is widely popular.
Corps, except for, and this is where it got interesting to me, Smallville fans, where it was called Luther Corps. I didn't watch Smallville, but this is the problem with DC's friends.
Grace always complains the oversaturation of women in the film. This is true. She does
Yeah,
do that. She does have a. She does do that. She is
yeah. She
hypothetical.
complains about. I mean, to be honest, why couldn't both be sexualized? But it's a movie. Like,
His
but
private army.
yeah,
Fractured audience. There's so many different iterations that people are coming in
are you
small
sure she doesn't
groups
have
from
balls?
different areas towards the same material. So Smallville fans are like, all of my dreams are coming true. And I'm like, where's LexCorp?
But
So
here's the thing about Smallville. They introduced characters in that show where they should really introduce to he's actually at like Lois Lane's in that show. Lois Lane should not be introduced in Smallville. Period. Because he never sees Lois Lane in his teenage years. Always in his
Yeah,
adult
I
years.
mean, yeah, I mean, the thing is, they wouldn't really have much of a show if they didn't do that.
Yeah, Smallville is like a true definition of an Elseworld story. And yes,
Mhm.
DCU is not going to be exactly like the comics or anything like that, but it should be a little bit more relatable. It should be a little bit more true to the comics than Smallville is.
Right.
So that's kind of like, I think, a little bit of an issue. They're like, LexCorp wouldn't fit over the space. All right, it's too short. But
That's true.
LexCorp,
LexCorp would not be able, unless they make the letters huge, bigger.
Where they could just
Not
have
use the
part
letters
of
at
the
all.
beam exposed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
is just such a cool name. And Luther Corps, I gotta tell you, sounds absolutely
Luther
great.
Core! She keeps calling it Luther Core.
Yeah, Luther Core, Luther Core.
How many scientific industrial companies are there in this stupid city? And so we got Luther Corps, Stag
Ton like
Industries, as
every
you're about to
fucking
see, and then
company.
also
It's
Maxwell
just
Lord is in the
I
stupid.
picture.
bet you Star Labs is there too. I bet,
Grace, do you know there's tons of companies in, a major
Metropolis.
this city? Yeah, like,
You know Metropolis is a big city, right, Grace? Like Gotham?
oh my God.
Oh.
There's only one corporation in each city. And this is also fiction too. Like, yeah, there's
I'm,
probably going to be a ton of corporations all in the same area. Like,
I'm pretty sure Grace is gonna
it's
be
not
like
crazy.
there's gonna be like Star Labs there too. Um, I wouldn't be
Yeah, like
surprised if
look at in
I wouldn't be
Gotham
su-
City, there's all types of
I wouldn't be
companies there
surprised if
too.
there's a Wayne Enterprise has a building there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, or Oliver Queen has something there too. Queen.
Yeah, I mean I don't know
With Lord,
like
whatever.
what's the problem there?
Yeah.
Again, very nitpicky. Like it's not like that's like, oh, it's unrealistic to have like all these corporations in a city. No, that's literally what happens.
She misses arcade industry. She misses Stark. She also misses Stark Industries. She misses
Yeah,
the
in the
Avengers
Marvel
building
universe,
there.
everybody is in New York City.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this is again, this is like
So
a
you're like,
bizarre nitpick.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that
great, we're
fucking
starting to
freeze
sound a little
frame.
like the MCU here with all the tech companies over there. It's ridiculous. All right.
Tech companies.
'Cause that's
I don't like.
literally what
I
happens
love the
in real
first shot
life,
of
but
Lex.
okay.
Hate this shot.
What do you fucking
So
hate
this
this
makes
show?
me a little sad. He's got the
This is
evil pinky
probably
ring
like
on
the
though.
coolest
I have
shot
some
of him
family
in the
members who
trailer.
actually like pinky rings, and we always talk about that. We always joke about it. I'm like, oh, I see you wearing
Why
the
do you hate this
supervillain
show?
pinky ring. And
Why do you
they're
hate
like,
this show?
not for just for supervillains. I'm like, I don't see anyone else wearing it. All right, so this is like, I don't know. So again, it's like, what version of Lex Luthor is this? Is it the animated series? That's the
It's
one I
its
want.
own
Is it
version.
Gene Hackman's Silver?
It kind of
It's
looks
just,
at it. I mean,
again, it's like okay, you're complaining that the Superman is a mix of all these different versions, and then here you go saying, well, this Lex Luthor, what version of him is this? It's like, wait a minute, hold on. You're criticizing Superman for not being its own thing, and yet here you are saying, well, this Lex Luthor needs to ape off of something else.
I think the Superman, this Lex Luthor, is going to be a little bit based off the animated series Lex Luthor.
Probably. I mean, it's going to be a mix of the things that
Yeah,
came before, just like the same shit she said about Superman. So it's like the look wise. I mean, to be honest, this shot, I don't know why she doesn't like this shot. This makes him look more of a like a cool villain. Like bald James Bond is the
or
vibe that I got,
Hitman.
especially
It's
with
gonna
that
be fun
gun.
if it's
Or yeah,
Hitman.
Hitman. Yeah. And on top of that too, it kind of reminds me of in the Tom King Human Target. He
Yeah.
kind of looks like the Lex Luthor in that comic, right? Because the Human Target has to dress up as Lex Luthor because someone is going to assassinate him, and he looks very similar to this kind of look, um, or at least the way that the artist drew it. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still Lex Luthor. Like, it's a more cool looking Lex Luthor compared to all the other ones that we've gotten in live action, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Which again I think is intentional. So I don't
Is
know,
that is
weird kind of look, weird kind of opinion from Grace on this one.
yeah.
Silly one? Is it, the more scientific based one, or like sci-fi fantasy from All Star Superman, which is a big influence James Gunn has said on his version of Superman.
Which, by the way,
But
it
I'll
is
tell you right.
because we see his soldiers in a green and purple armor set.
Yeah, and which he probably has one of himself,
I
right?
don't think she points that. She doesn't even point that out because
Yeah.
she's just talking about Mr. Terrific. That's later, but when it comes up, I'll point that out.
I know she did.
Right now, Nicholas Holt just has features that are too delicate for this character.
And he's holding a fucking gun. Like anybody's powerful with a gun.
Lex Luthor is a brick of a man. He's an old fashioned cigar smoking, liquor drinking, corner office guy.
He's not. He doesn't.
Yeah, but
He doesn't
that's
drink
kind of like
liquor.
like I can see again, I can see what she's saying in terms of his look, but that is also kind of out of fashion. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do this, but the vibe that they can go for Lex Luthor if they wanted to, I know this may make people cringe slightly, but he's got this bald head, right? He's this head of this tech company. They could be playing up this like Andrew Tate angle. You know what I mean? Like Andrew Tate is like very much a fucking supervillain, where he does still have the fucking shape. I mean, he's a criminal, right? We all know what this fucking guy's doing. But I mean, that's kind of more of a modern
Hmm.
villain type, where it's like they look more sleek or more, I don't know. They don't have that kind of old brick look that she's talking about, right? And that Andrew Tate type of villain, they've been doing that recently in movies too. They did that in Glass Onion with Dave Batista. Um,
Oh, the knives
I'm trying
out.
to think of other Glass Onion, yeah, Knives Out, the sequel of Knives Out. I'm trying to think of other because it's been reoccurring. I don't know if people have noticed that. And also Andrew Tate was only popular very recently, but
When,
um
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
they're also kind of using Elon Musk as a villain type. There's a lot of people in um or Jeff
I
Bezos.
just.
Like Jeff Bezos is not like he doesn't look intimidating at all. He's pretty short.
It's just. Yeah. See, it's just that Elon Musk is not the best representation for Lex Luthor because I think.
I mean, just as a villain type person,
Yeah.
business mogul, CEO, like I don't know, that's more of what people tend to see or like make that comparison. So
Oh,
I don't know. I don't think I don't know. It's a different
which one?
again, it's a different take on the character. So it's like I don't know, like it's not that big of a deal to me. It's like we've had all these different interpretations, like let them do something different.
Hmm.
And John Hamm maybe would have been a good Lex Luthor, come to think of it.
No,
And also,
John Hamm is like in his
no.
50s. No.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
too
I
old.
mean, I guess they have to start somewhere, and the idea is they would play these characters for years. But I don't know. It seems a little bit like, they don't seem like full adults to me in the roles, right?
Well, they're still
So
trying.
yeah, but
They're trying
I
to.
don't. The features
They
just
cast
You,
them young, right? They cast
you
them
know,
young for a reason.
he was really, really young when he was Beast.
Yeah,
That's
he was.
intentional.
Don't work for me. Now, I know a lot of you love this shot. I wonder who's in those other little squares. Superman's in the center square, thank you very much, and he doesn't want to be. So, but I actually hate this shot. And I hate this shot because I think it looks it looks like AI. I think it's too clear. I think that it doesn't look like it's in a movie to me.
She says it's too clear,
the camera movement.
But the light is blown out.
Yeah.
The light is blown out. You can't see. It's also, the light is also diffused slightly despite it being directly on him. There's also the camera flare lens you could see right in the corner.
Yeah.
And it's not clear. It's not clear at all. There's a massive glaze of light all over the frame. So it's like, what the fuck is she talking about? That is not what you would say is a clear shot whatsoever. I mean, just go back slightly. It's also like, it's like
and I hate this shot because I think it looks too like it looks like AI.
No.
I think it's too clear. I think that
maybe
it doesn't look like it's in a movie to me.
The camera movement is AI.
The camera movement it just doesn't seem cinematic to me.
The camera movement
there's
is
something
a weird
about it that just doesn't work.
I
mean, we'll see how I feel about it in the context of the film. But I
looks AI at all. Like this is her kind of just saying things for sake of saying things, because you just saying, oh, this looks AI, and then you can't even point out what exactly it looks AI. Like, again, she said camera movement. I could see, yeah, the camera movement for like AI videos is weird as fuck. And this shot, it like starts with him in the center and then it like curves in this weird way. I could see that, but it's like everything else that's actually in the frame itself, like her describing it as clear, this is not what you would describe as a clear shot. Look at the frame that we're on right now. Is that clear? There's a lens flare. The glass is blown out. The lighting is blown out. You can't even see him.
Yeah,
right? You can see a little bit of a silhouette.
Yeah.
There's also a little bit of lens or a light, almost like the light is coming into the frame on the other side, right? The left-hand side of the frame, right? Just right at that corner there. What is she talking about?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Don't care for the shot. All right, so
and also she doesn't even point out. Hold on, go back 1 second, 1 second. This is the shot I was talking about was weird in terms of this is an extreme wide shot.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't even point that out. That is what makes the shot look weird. Because typically you wouldn't have a shot this wide. It would probably be a more medium frame. Like you wouldn't see those, whatever those things are on the corner, if they're people or whatever, the lights that are there.
People. It looks like people in the
Yeah,
sun.
you wouldn't see that in the shot, right? It would probably be a more medium kind of lens. But this is an extreme wide lens. That's why it kind of has that warped look to it, where it's like you see him and he's like, everything is almost warping around him. So like, again, it's like she's not even describing things very well in terms of cinematography or why it looks to her. She's just saying it looks AI. And it's like, I hate when people say this looks AI, because you could say that for every little fucking thing. AI is sampling pretty much every little thing on the fucking internet. Of course it's going to look AI, because it's like a generic, the AI is taking everything it's seen and then just outputting it.
It's gonna get to a point.
So it's like it's such a fucking like brain dead fucking criticism.
She's gonna get to a point where we don't know if it's AI or not AI anymore. Like what? Like
yeah, and Degrassi's right too. Maybe there's things that they don't want us to see too.
Yeah.
So it's like, who knows if that light is CGI light and it's not actually there. I mean, to be fair, I mean you could see it reflecting on him, but I mean you could do that with CGI as well. So
it's in a movie
that's
to me.
A good point too.
The camera movement it just doesn't seem cinematic to me. There's something about it that just doesn't work.
Movie. Who knows?
I mean, we'll see how I feel about you thinking of me that it had been changed in a movie about it in the context of the film. But I don't care for the shot. All right, so some of you
Yeah,
I
here's
pointed
another
out.
part too.
I had said
This is
there was
wrong,
going
by
to be
the
a Middle
way.
East
This
subplot
wall
to the
is not
movie,
in a Middle
but
East.
I did report later on, and I appreciate all of you thinking of me that it had been changed. And some people online said, "Well, this isn't the Middle East; it's like Central Europe." And I had said that because of the very real world travesties that are happening in the Middle East, that have been changed to another region, and that's what you're
By
seeing
the way,
here.
that thing got
So,
community
but
noted.
let's
It's
not
right
dwell on
there.
that. I think
What?
It's like let's not dwell on that when the Twitter literally
Yeah.
community noted that post of saying, "Wow, a lot of people do owe Grace an apology," but there it says, "Hey, it's from Europe," and then she's saying, "Well, that's still part of my scoop was that they changed it," and but you're going off of literally a couple of seconds in trailer. For all we know, this could just be a freaking flashback scene. This could
Yeah.
just be a little montage section. We have absolutely no clue what is the context of
Here's
this
the
shot.
thing.
So you saying that, oh, this is proof. No, this is not proof. This is literally
So
not proof.
I know she's talking about the Middle East, but they moved this to Europe. So I'm like, Grace. If we're using the Middle East as the reason why they switched this to Europe, I'm like, there's a war going on in Europe too between Russia and Ukraine. Maybe they shouldn't have done Europe either.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point too. I don't know.
Like,
The thing is, like
I think,
it's like this is you saying this because you see a bunch
and
of people who look like they're from that region is not proof. It's not proof
oh,
whatsoever.
there's people there is people with darker skin in Europe
Of course there is.
in Western. Yeah,
But
not
I
I'm
mean,
not
the
talking about
people
East
in
and
the
Western.
shot, it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to tell where these people are from. The look of the landscape is like
that's
dried out, and
that's
but
that's
again, like who knows
that's a
where this
problem.
is.
That's just a problem that people in the West have. They think everybody from Europe is white. It's a problem.
Yeah. But yeah, but of course she had to bring this up. She
Yeah.
couldn't let this go, of course. And this entire breakdown, she's just been again with the negative, the negative, negative.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's her opinion, fine, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like no, like don't at the end of this, she goes, it's still, I'm still looking forward to it. It's like stop lying. Like stop lying to yourself. Just say you don't like it. You just don't like it. It's like you can't have like a 40-minute breakdown, have more freaking criticism and a lot of nitpicky negative stuff and not even give half of it credit. And most of the stuff we were giving credit for, you're like, really? Like, I don't know.
And by the way,
It's just bar.
I know what war
It's
she's
just
talking about.
bizarre.
There's not a civil war. The civil war was actually happening in Syria. By the way, it was in Syria.
Yeah, which would still be the Middle East.
we want to. I
Yeah,
appreciate you guys thinking of me and defending me. It means so much to me.
but you still
The scoop
wrong.
game ain't for the weak.
Which scoop game? We caught you lying about the Clayface movie.
I don't know if she was lying about that. I think she just got it mixed up. But this is just
I think she
like
was
again
lying.
more petty. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad my followers came to my defense."
Yeah,
But
but James
meanwhile,
Gunn said
James
it's
Gunn's
not true.
bitches when they go to his defense, oh, they're bitches, right? Oh, funny how that works, huh? Like
But
this is
I
again
think it's important
stupid.
also that we move on and we don't let that drag down the conversation. We noted
But
it.
here you
You
are
guys
bringing
really
out.
noted it, and again, thank you. But I think now let's focus on the trailer. Apparently there's a big problem. This little boy's decided to hold up. He doesn't have a Jimmy Olsen signal watch, so he's going to try this. This could be tough for Superman because everybody just would do this. So he's decided that this is how he's going to call Superman to him. I think it's very moving. We'll see how it works. Now this is weird to me. Why is that dirt or is like the paint wearing off of his suit? Right? Was he in
It's
some
a
kind of
burnt
fight so
mark,
the yellow paint came off? I'm like,
probably
what is this
from
suit made?
that
I really don't like the
dragon.
suit. I'm sorry to say. I know some
Yeah, it's probably from the dragon because we did see it, but he doesn't. We're not that part of the trailer, but the kaiju does blow. That does breathe out fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that looks
If
like a
you don't
burn mark.
like the skin tight suit, and I can
Maybe something went wrong during the kaiju fight.
Possibly.
Yeah.
understand that. You know, again, you know it when you see it. And now that we see it, I mean, I don't like it. I liked it from the back because I like the cape effects that they've had. Very little cape action in this teaser trailer, by the way. I would have included that because I think that's something that's captivated most of us with the onset photos. But you know, he's got for someone whose hair gets messed up when he's flying. That's the funny thing. There was a big debate because they had like a teaser for the teaser, and when Superman was flying, his hair whips all over the place because you know he's like, I guess the idea is like being in a convertible, and boy, does your hair flip around all over the place when you're in a convertible. And there was a discussion as to whether or not that should happen when Superman's flying. I think it should not, and here is the reason. I'll tell you why. When he has to have super hair gel, whatever. But the thing is that when he stops, he would look like it would look like Beaker from the Muppets. Like his hair would just be like, whoa, all over the place. Like, why is it when he stops? I mean, it doesn't have to be like he stuck his finger in an electrical socket, but the curls would be all over the place. If the curls move like that when he's flying, they would not be so.
I don't know how you know. I mean, you never flew before, so I don't know how you like. I
Well,
don't
I
think
mean, if you're, I mean, she compared it to like being in a convertible. I mean, I think the choice is probably done to emphasize the flying.
yeah,
It's a more of a visual choice. It's also something, again, don't think people are really going to point out because it's like, yeah, obviously you can't have his hair be blown out like that. It would look totally weird when he's walking around normal. He could also just flick it back too. w-
it's funny.
You
It's
know,
funny when you see the female heroes that with longer hair flying. Like it doesn't wait. It doesn't get in their face or
he could
anything.
easily just take his hair and smooth it over.
Yeah, that's
He
true
could
too.
literally just do that.
That's true.
But you're not going to do that every single time in a shot. That would get annoying. That's stupid. You wouldn't do that. So again, this is like a really
Place when he
hard
stopped,
nitpick.
Yeah.
unless he does a quick super comb. That's why his suit isn't skin tight because he needs pockets. And Batman's like, that's why I have the
He doesn't
utility
even
belt,
need a
thank you, and
comb.
why
Look
my
at his
hair is
hair.
under
His
Yeah.
hair's
a
already
cowl.
slick enough
All right, so he's got the
probably just do it with
curl.
his
He's got the
hands.
curl. Everybody's very upset with him. He's like, I hate everybody. He's like, it's like this is the human embodiment of Twitter and social media. I mean, what could he possibly
The
have
human
done?
embodiment of
We'll
Grace
find out.
Randolph.
So here he is in Stag Industries, we find out, and they won't stop, even though he's in the building. They're like, F you from outside. And I don't know
That's
if
you,
he's
Grace
referring to
Randolph.
the
You're probably outside.
directory,
You're probably one of the people
but he's taking
outside.
a break for a second, which I think is pretty hilarious. I like it. I would like it if he was reading the directory. He's like, what floor is Simon Stagg on? Let me see. But he needs a moment.
Stag Industries.
Just give me a moment, please. All right? He's very upset. I don't know what's going on with his hair. All
Ag
right.
Industries.
So there was a
Stag
big
Industries.
discussion about Hot Girl's like, I'm in this photo too, thank you. But everyone's like, nobody can see you with the bowl cut, thank you. And so yes, there's been a lot of debate as to whether or not this is a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
All right, so I think it was a bad. Here's the thing.
Of course, you thought it was a bad
This
idea.
is very
We know.
comics accurate, but to a specific era in the comics. There's another issue. I don't think that the Marvel characters have changed that much over the years. The many years that they've been published over at Marvel. But DC characters have changed substantially from era to era.
But he still
Now,
has
I
the
believe
bowl
this
cut.
is a Silver Age Guy Gardner. And this is what he looked like. But that's not what he looks like today, even in the comics. And
This is not true.
Yes,
This is
thank you.
not true because, and you know what? I have this book right here. I have the
Well, she
Human
does in
Target book.
JFC. Not really.
The Human Target book came out what, 2021? So I'm gonna take this book right here. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna look for Guy Gardner because Guy Gardner is here in this very comic. So give me a second here. Wrong. He has a bowl cut here. He has a bowl cut here. I have it in my hands right now. This comic came out in 2021.
Yes.
Okay. He has a bowl cut. Now, obviously, it is more of a classic. Justice League International, but they still depict him with the bowl cut. He even has a
Also,
role in this comic where it's like, hold on.
does she understand the bowl cut makes him look more as a jackass than he is, as his personality is? That's the
Yeah,
point of
I
it.
mean, they couldn't, it does stand out, but it's like,
Yeah,
we don't know the character just yet. So it could be possible that this guy, he's like an older dude and he's kind of like full of himself and he's not aware. And so he likes the haircut.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so here in the human target, he also has not just a bowl cut. I mean, he also has the buzz side cut too. So it's kind of similar to what is there on she has on screen too.
I mean, I think it just makes him it just adds to him being probably just a jackass in the movie,
Yeah.
and adds personality to him as like because sometimes
Yeah,
yeah
we don't really know just yet
yeah
why he's acting that way.
look and look where he's firing the ring at. Look, we'll have to fast forward a bit.
And I think that, James Gunn probably grew up reading comics for DC where Guy
Probably he
He
did.
did. He did.
Probably.
He did.
Gardner looked like this. And so to him, he's like, oh, I've recreated my my youth. But I think that he has to realize that everybody, unfortunately, has a different idea of what Guy Gardner should look like. And then also,
but the
This
comics are
is another thing that is stupid, right? Because first
yeah
off, one Guy Gardner's not even that popular of a character. He's not even one of like the most. He's not even the fourth beloved Green Lantern.
yes Hal
Like,
John Kyle
like what the hell is she talking about? No, not even. There's still more.
oh yeah
The more recent Green Lanterns, the two recent
Jessica
Green
Cruz
Lanterns might
and
even be ranked above
yeah
um Guy Gardner, Baz.
that's
So
Jessica Cruz yeah
yeah, so again, like the what she's saying here, it doesn't even make sense where you're like, oh, because if this is the case, right, you could then that means every single DC character, which by the way, it is kind of like that. Yeah, DC has existed longer for than Marvel. So a lot of the characters are going to have wildly different takes. There's nothing much you can do about that. And the thing is, this movie is supposed to be its own take. So why I don't understand why she keeps going back to this criticism when her main criticism of the main actor was that he's too similar to the other Superman that we've gotten, that it's
yeah
not different enough. But yet here she is going, oh, this is too comic book accurate. So
I think
that just doesn't
comic
even
books
make
actually
any
don't sell that
sense.
many comics. The comic book audience is so tiny that it would never be enough. If every person who's ever read a DC comic, even just once or twice, went to see a movie, it would
then Grace then they probably don't care what his hairstyle looks like
Yeah, because half of the audience don't even know the character.
yeah
Guy Gardner hasn't really what Guy Gardner was in animated movies, maybe. I don't remember off the top
I
of my head,
I
but
know he's been in some I know he's been in some of the Brave and Bold stuff. He's been, I think, it's some.
he's not a character that is people are familiar with. I mean, hell, people were kind of mainstream audiences didn't even know Hal Jordan was Green Lantern.
No, they knew John Stewart if they
They
watched
knew
the.
John Stewart more than Hal Jordan.
Yeah,
So that should tell you something. Most people probably don't even know about Guy Gardner. So this is again very, very nitpicky in my opinion, because it's not going to matter to the audience. The same thing that she's trying to say. Like again, she's trying to bring up this point of, well, we as comic book fans have our own interpretation, but then in the same breath go, there's not enough comic book fans. So why does it matter then? Why does
exactly.
it matter? Most audiences don't even know this character. So who gives a shit? But again, this is bizarre criticism. It's like you're contradicting the
not
same
make enough
I
shit
money.
she's
feel like the
saying.
So
people.
you have to get people who
I
don't
feel
read
like
comics to want to
people
see the
shitting on this don't know the comics, don't know the character. Like you said, they don't know the Guy Gardner character. They don't know him. They probably don't know that he's an asshole. And the
Yeah,
Bullcock
they
just
don't
adds
know
that.
why. Yeah, like they don't know why he's
Yeah,
looking like that in the first place.
yeah,
It's kind of like again, it was like this reminds me of a lot of because it feels like a lot of internet criticism is always kind of centered around the character looks like this and it's weird, we don't like it, but we don't even know why they look like that. And a perfect example of this recently is the whole thing with Intergalactic. Oh, the character's bald. Oh my God, the character's bald. She looks ugly. We don't even know why she's bald. The trailer starts with her shaving her head. Clearly,
Yeah,
there's a story point to it. Or when
yeah.
people go, "Oh
The
my
movie.
God,
And
Abby's jacked. Why is she jacked? It doesn't even make sense." Then they explain it in the game, and no one says,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one
You know,
even
judge a
brings
book
it
by its
up.
cover, right? You judge.
And I guarantee that it is going to be explained why he has that
Yeah.
haircut. And it's going to be because he's an asshole and he thinks it looks cool.
Look, I'll tell you. I know the scene. Look, you know, we've seen the trailer. She's seen the trailer. I remember the scene. He's firing the beam, the Green Lantern beam, at the crowd, at the window,
Mm.
with the crowd standing outside.
that looks ridiculous to them, understandably. You can't
I'll
pause
show
the
you.
movie and James Gunn comes in with an old comic and says, but this is what he looked like. It doesn't matter. And again, it's one thing not to go to the beefcake route, but you don't have to go in the other direction. I think that Nathan Fillion and this hairstyle is perfect when it comes to the Silver Age, but that is not the Guy Gardner that anybody thinks of today. And
Nobody really
so
thinks of Guy
Most
Gardner today.
people, the think of today of Guy Gardner is this is incredibly stupid. He's not even that popular of a character to say
The
this.
only the only time people start talking among the movie fans and comic book fans about Guy Gardner is when he got announced for the film. That's it.
Right.
this isn't the MCU Guy Gardner you would get. You would get a Guy Gardner who had still had a somewhat silly haircut, but was still very effable. And
Don't be surprised by that. I mean, the MCU has done stuff like this before.
although I'm sure someone's like, looks great to me. And so that's just the difference. And I'm surprised for all the things that James Gunn is borrowing from Marvel, including the freaking logo. That's
He didn't borrow the logo from Marvel. First of all, that's not the logo.
This is stupid.
It's
This
that's
is
not the
stupid.
logo.
The logo by the way, they put the logo on the side probably because it looks better visually
Yeah,
from a legible perspective of you have the DC logo and then it says studios. Yeah, it looks like the Marvel Studios logo, but at the same time, uh, it's I think it's done just to make it look legible. Because if you have the DC logo on top and then the studios, and then you have Superman, it looks a little bit weird. So having everything be horizontal, the DC Studios logo, and then it says Superman,
and
it just
look,
looks easy. It
the
looks better to read, in my opinion.
DC studio
That's
looks
why I think
better.
it's done.
The DC studio looks better than
She
the Marvel
brings this
studios.
point up again, by the way. She brings this point up again. That's why I say this. Because I'm
DC
like, well,
studios looks better than Marvel studios because Marvel studios is generic as hell.
Well, I
it's
mean,
amazing.
they
That's
have
one
that
lesson
look first, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that he
also
just maybe
generic too. It's
refuses
just
to
for
or won't accept.
it's to
But
keep
yet
it
it's such a
simple. It's
clear
all
lesson.
right.
All right. So, so what he seems to be doing actually is closing up the windows. He's like, leave us alone. Give us some privacy.
he's not closing up the windows.
I don't know what he's doing there.
I
Yeah.
think he's trying to scare off the people because he's an asshole, and that's the kind of thing he would do.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that's a good point. Because yeah, I don't
Is
know
he doing it for
exactly what he's
Superman's
doing.
benefit or he
Yeah.
doesn't want to deal with them himself? All right.
Superman would not approve of this either. I think
Those suits, oh boy, good Lord, those suits are not forgiving. White is a tough color to pull off head to toe. Those suits look really
I'm
bad.
curious. Guy Gardner in the comics, when he becomes a Green Lantern, does his costume change into the classic Green Lantern costume? Because Hal and John
Kind
looks
of,
like,
because he has that varsity jacket.
oh yeah, yeah.
And I don't like that Mr. Terrific is stuck wearing that jetpack all the time. I'd rather he do a Magneto kind of disc feel, like flying thing. Again, there might have been some Silver Age comic where he had that ridiculous contraption on his back. But I've read recent Mr. Terrific comics, and he doesn't wear that. All right.
Maybe the glasses.
So
What did
here's
she say? Go
Hawk Girl.
back there. What
Again,
did she
she
say
looks
there?
pretty good. It's too
know.
clear, though. It's so clear. There's not
Can
even
you go
any
back
blur.
and say that? I didn't
It's too
catch what
clear.
she was saying there.
jetpack all the time. I'd rather he do a Magneto kind of disc feel, like flying thing. Again, there might have been some Silver Age comic where he had that ridiculous contraption on his back, but I've read recent Mr. Terrific comics, and he doesn't wear that. All right.
I mean, he's
so
just
here's
wearing that
Hawk Girl
jacket.
again.
I don't know,
Not
it's
everything's
so
gonna be
weird.
recent. Fuck.
She
I
looks
mean, Mr.
pretty good.
Terrific
It's
is also in the Human Target.
Yeah.
Is he in the Human Target, or is it he was in the Tom King comic too that I read. I don't think it was the Human Target though. I could be wrong.
too clear, though. It's so clear. There's not even any blur. It's too clear.
Too
The sun is
clear?
nice because Superman, of
Yeah,
That's
again, she keeps saying it's too clear. It's like the sun.
course, is
There's a
like, oh, she's got a
what do
giant.
you call it? The
glare?
sun. Yeah, there's the glare. There's the glare. There's a specific term for that. I'm blanking on the term for when the sun glazes on the lens like that. I don't remember the term. Someone will put it in the comment, but yeah, sunwash. Sunwash. That's what it's called.
Mhm.
That
From me,
stupid Star
Degrassi
Wars
is
guy.
getting
Big
it
glass
from
of
me.
water behind her, or whatever Superman likes to eat. It's just nourishment, but it's just too clear.
Too
It looks
clear,
fake,
too clear. Looks
and also
fake, looks
she doesn't
fake.
look like Hawk Girl from the Justice League animated series. So that's my
Again, we don't know why. We don't know
Hawk Girl.
why.
This is the
Let me see which version she's playing. She may not be playing that version because there's two of them. There's Hawk Girl and Hawk Woman, and I believe what's her name? Isabel. Where's Isabel? It's Kendra Saunders. That's because Kendra Saunders. The Hawk Girl from the Justice League is not Kendra Saunders. I know that. Let me check just to make 100% sure
Yeah.
on that. I'm pretty sure it's not Kendra Saunders. I think it's Soraya, something like that. What's her name? I'm pretty sure it's was it Soraya, something like that? I'm blinded, something like that, right? But
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's not Kendra Saunders in the Justice League TV show. Whatever.
problem with comic book adaptations, so I don't like it. Okay, all right.
You don't like it because I think I'm just checking. Hawk Girl. It is Hawk Girl in the Justice League TV show, but it's not. What's her name? Shariah Hall. Yeah, Shariah Hall. Yeah, Shariah Hall. It's not the same one. It's not the same Hawk Girl. So she's wrong here too. She's wrong here too.
She has the mace, though, at least. All right, so they're fighting this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him in a comic. Everybody wanted them to fight
This kaiju just
Brainiac.
framed
I
in
don't
the
know what
movie.
this is. All right. Metropolis looks pretty nice, though. I'm like, what's that park back there? Ooh, why is there nobody out? They're like, we don't want to pay for all the digital extras. And you're like, come on, man. All right, so he burps up a big fireball on him. I like this shot. Although, what is happening out there that Superman is not needed? He's like, again, he's not just one superhero of many where they're like, some other ones could take care of it. You're like, Superman, that's all you need. Superman, he'll take care of it. But I must say, it makes pretty good mood lighting. So that's fine. So that's very nice.
It looks
Lois
like
is-
Brother Eye from DC Universe Online. Because I think in DC Online, if you fight Brother Eye in one of the raids, I think he shoots something like that from his eye.
Mhm.
It does look like Brother Eye, doesn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, it kind of does.
He's like, yes, forget that, all the people who are in hurt. Let's smooch.
Could be Giant Jimmy.
Oh, there they go. They're smooching at a
I like
different
turtles,
time.
too.
Lots of smooching. All right, but also crying. Smooching and crying. That could be the subline of the Superman movie. Forget Superman Legacy. It's Superman smooching and crying. So this poor robot's dead. All right, why don't you just rebuild it? It's a robot. That's one of the benefits of
We don't even know.
reboot this
We
thing.
don't even
you know.
know
You
what
know.
it's
Yeah, we don't know the context. Yeah.
We don't even know.
several tech companies. All right, so he's very sad.
Is
that the Fortress of Solitude?
It could possibly hit an affair with that robot. I'm just joking.
Dude, I don't like it when it's all crystals. All right, so that's Metamorpho. This is Anthony Kerrigan. I hope this works out. I love him so much from Barry. He's just a great actor. So I wonder what's going to be going on with his character. Because, obviously...
Look, that's pre-smoke from Star Wars. Yeah. I'm sorry. It looks like that's pre-smoke. Or is it Snoke? No, Snoke. Snoke, not smoke. The Joker does.
They're all coming over to Dag Industries to look into something that's happened. But you can see he's got the purple shoulder. He's also, again, very comics accurate. But, again, also you're like, but, I don't know how important it, Marvel is comics accurate just enough that you're like, oh, that's cool.
Marvel is not just enough. Like Marvel is a lot of MCU is not comic accurate.
But then you're like, it's tough. It's a tough call. It's almost like, in a comic book, the art is a big deal. And some artists aren't beloved by everyone. And I almost feel like James Gunn has done a comic book where the art, I'm like, I don't love the artist that you went with, but I'm still intrigued enough by the story that you've written that I'm going to pick it up and read it. But I don't love the artist. I guess that's a good way to describe it. I like this building domino, though. Is Superman going to catch it?
Would make that comparison too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like kind of a... Yeah, it's like I don't like the art, the way it's drawn, but yeah, the story I'm still intrigued by.
Yeah.
But when the building just break up, every building in Metropolis has to be able to be stiff as a board if it falls over so Superman can just grab it. But that's still very cool. You know that Superman's going to come flying in, or maybe he won't, and that's the whole thing.
Maybe he won't. What do you think that thing is over there? You see that little thing over there? Like Grace.
That you went with. But I'm still intrigued enough by the story that you've written that I'm going to pick it up and read it. But I don't love the artist. I guess that's a good way to describe it. I like this building domino, though. Is Superman going to catch it? But when...
What do you think? Yes, Grace. What do you think that is over there? What do you think that is? You see that blind? You see that little thing approaching the building, right? That has to be Superman, right?
Right.
Like, of course.
Shit, I died.
Yeah, you died.
When the building just break up, every building in Metropolis has to be able to be stiff as a board if it falls over so Superman can just grab it. But that's still very cool. You know that Superman's going to come flying in, or maybe he won't, and that's the whole thing. All right, so there, again, just doesn't look good as Lex to me. I'm sorry. He doesn't work. He needs a stronger
He's not sexy
chin.
He's not sexy enough for you? You want Lex Luthor?
He's having a bad day, though. Look, apparently, he's crying, too.
He's not crying. He's pissed off. I don't see tears.
Perfect. There's no crying and superheroing, Lex.
Is he? I don't see tears at all. What is she talking about?
He's like mad. He's like fuming.
Yeah.
All right, so as many people pointed out, that's the country of Baravia. It's fake comic book country. The comic book readers are used to that all the time. GBS News. Although, Chits doesn't the Daily Planet put out any video out? Is that a Luther television? That's hilarious. Okay, it's very evil.
She's right. It is a Luther television.
Recording what you're doing. All right, so there's Superman. Oh, so there he's getting dragged. He is getting dragged on the ground. Oh, man. Hold your head up, Soups. So everybody believes this might be Ultraman, which is like basically a duplicate Superman. So probably when that mask comes off, it'll be David Corenswet. So let's see. Everyone's like, not the Homelander subplot the Homelander twist that we never got. It's basically the same, because, in the comics, Black Noir was actually Homelander. All right. So, what's more American than Superman fighting in a baseball stadium? Although he's not American anymore, so think about it. All right. That's pretty good. Look at that digital grass just getting messed up. All right, so Mr. Terrific. I'm surprised that the mask is 3D, like an applique instead of makeup. I believe in the comics that it's makeup instead of an applique. It looks very cool.
Tell me when
I
it's
still
off, man.
feel, Eddie Gathegi did the work to build up his physique to play a superhero. Again, I think the costume largely hides the work that he did, but I still feel that they're doing a B supporting character, like a B level character, a supporting level
I mean,
character
the thing
treatment
is though,
to a
like the
character that I feel
character's
has
wearing a
leading man.
jacket, so
He's always wore a
it's
jacket,
kind of
hasn't he?
hard. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to show that off,
Exactly.
Potential.
and yeah.
Like if I were running DC, like Peter Safran and James Gunn,
If
I
you
would
were
feel
running
that
DC, it would be a fucking mess.
Also, it's just betting in good shape. It's good shape for that's it. Even though the character does most superheroes don't show skin, man. Batman doesn't show skin. Superman doesn't show skin.
Well,
Most superheroes.
Batman does show some skin time to time when he's injured or right, like
Oh
in
yeah,
the
if it's close.
Batcave.
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific could spin out of this and have his own movies or his own TV show.
Mr.
And maybe
Terrific
he
does
still
take off
could.
his
Let's see
jacket.
the performance.
Mm-hmm.
He
Although
does.
Eddie
Sure.
Feige's been acting for so long, he was in the X-Men Matthew Vaughn movie, has failed to make an impression ever. So maybe it was just the right role, waiting for the right role. But, like for instance, there's just missed opportunities. Like the T-spheres. Do you see the T-spheres there?
Yeah.
Those are so cool. They're supposed to float around Mr. Terrific at all times, like an atom. Again, like Magneto in X2. I kind of would want a little bit of the X2 Magneto approach for Mr. Terrific. That's what I'd be looking at. And many of you have pointed out, Michael Holt, the Mr. Terrific character, is supposed to have his own company. Why on earth would he be working for Maxwell Lord, who's funding the Justice League in this Superman movie?
Maybe he doesn't have a company yet.
Yeah, we don't know. Again, we don't know. A lot of
And
assumptions are
also,
something we don't know.
also if yeah. Also, if he does, you just put it right there. What if it's been acquired by Bruce Wayne already? Not Bruce Wayne bought it. I don't know. We don't
And
know.
we don't know again. Like those are all things that we would have to wait and see for the movie, right? So it's kind of stupid to bring
If
all
you're going
that
to
stuff up.
Hmm.
have tech companies, multiple tech companies in Metropolis, why isn't Mr. Terrific's one of them? I mean, look what he can make. He better have made those freaking T-spheres himself. If Maxwell Lord made those spheres, James Gunn better hide from the internet on that one. But anyway, they should be constantly orbiting around him because they do all kinds of things. They not only can create a force field, but they should also be able to create a force field that he stands on to levitate on. Look, I solved your problem right there. You don't need that stupid jetpack. You just create a force field platform and you fly on that. They would be able to do projections like
we don't know why.
Tony Stark does when he's like talking about, as visual aids, to go along with what he's explaining, schematics, all that stuff. The T-spheres are incredible. And so they should be, whenever you see Mr. Terrific, those spheres should be there. I mean, I know that's expensive, but I don't care. Are we doing Mr. Terrific or are we not?
No.
Who is he protecting there? I wonder if that's Lois.
Wonder if that's Lois. Did you hear that, Blinded?
Yeah, I don't know what she is.
I mean, I know that's expensive, but I don't care.
wanna hear that
Are we doing
again.
Mr. Terrific or are we not?
And he's not protecting anybody. He's kissing Lois. Did I hear it?
Who's he protecting there? I wonder if that's Lois.
Blinded?
Yeah, it's just like,
That's
come on.
isn't that that's too of this whole trailer, that's the most obvious thing you cannot get wrong. I'm sorry. Like, what is he? What the fuck?
Maybe that's Lois, actually.
Maybe
All
that's
right.
Lois is Lois.
So there's Lois. We've reached more smooching. I actually like this shot a lot. Those shoes, those are crazy shoes. I don't know. Part of me feels maybe I would wear those. Look like the kind of shoes that I would want to buy, but then thankfully someone would talk me out of. But I do like this shot a lot. I do very much like their relationship, and again, that has really struck a chord with me. How they both have the same goal. I like that a
They
lot. I
always
think
get
it
the same
elevates
goal. They
Lois, but
always
we want to be
doing the
careful.
same thing.
Not to the same level of Superman, but closer. All right. Smoochy smooch. That's a cool shot when he flies right into the sun. He's like, recharge time. So, yes, she gives him a hug. I guess he's finally going to go out there. He's like, he's like 10, 15 minutes later. He's like, well, no one else has fixed this. I guess I better go out.
It's called a vote of confidence. Giving his hope up. There to be, every superhero has it. Some of the inspiration. Okay, even Batman went through it. Grace. If you remember Batman Begins, I know everybody here remembers Batman Begins. Remember when they in Batman Begins when Main Manor ran on fire, right? Ran on fire. And while Ra's revealed
Mhm.
himself and was plans for Gotham, remember he went on fire. Bruce Wayne was down on himself, and who is the one that got him inspired to go back out there and stop Ra's from destroying Gotham, spraying chaos in Gotham? It was Alfred. That's what Lois
Right.
Lane is to Superman in this probably in this scene. Every hero has somebody like that. When things don't look good, there's always somebody there to bring hope into them again. Okay? Okay? That's what it probably is, right, Blinded?
Right.
Like,
Sorry, I'm distracted, but
that's okay.
There. All right. July 11th. Isn't it weird? Why does the logo look like this here, but yet on the poster it looks like the Marvel Studios logo? I mean, let's have some consistency here. Let's just go with
legibility.
this because
I
the other
keep
one looks too
saying
much
it's
like the Marvel
because of
Studios.
legibility.
Yeah, legibility. Yeah,
Because it just, I don't know, the hierarchy of it where you
I,
just have DC and then underneath it says
I,
studio, and then you would have Superman like on a
honestly,
poster. It
blinded.
just it wouldn't look nice. I'm telling you, it
Honestly,
just would
blinded.
not.
I really don't fucking care what the logos look like. I don't go to the movie to see the logo. Honestly.
No, I mean that's for the graphic designer. But I
Yeah,
mean like
yeah.
I don't know. She just again very nitpicky, and then she doesn't even know what she's talking.
I don't care if the logo is generic or ugly or great. I don't go for a movie for a logo.
Logo. And then, of course, people are going to want to see this in IMAX.
I think the logo to me is more of a marketing tool to sell merchandise because you could probably buy a. I know for Marvel Studios you could probably buy a hat with Marvel Studios on it. I know they sell stuff like that, so it's probably for that. But I really don't care.
You're going to want to see it in premiere screens for sure. All right, so the trailer went back to the beginning. All right, so that's my breakdown of this trailer. I'm very curious to hear your own thoughts down below now that you've heard mine in depth. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.
Damn, that's
Here,
the end.
here, look at this comment. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, she's getting roasted.
Yeah, she's getting roasted. We should read some of these. Read some of these.
Yeah, I'll eat some of them because then I gotta eat dinner soon, man. I'm hungry.
Okay.
I was a long time viewer. I disagree with almost everything Grace said in the breakdown, and that's fine. Um, they're still reading newspapers because this is our world. This world is mashed with current day and late 70s aesthetics. Almost all the clothing worn is from the 1970s. There are actually the clothing is not from the 70s. It's very modern. There are bell
I
bottoms.
can see what they're talking about though. The color scheme of
Uh,
the extras, the Superman's costume is like almost
but
Technicolor, right? The way how bright it is.
Asher is still a little bit wrong because people still do read newspapers. Actually, they say reading newspapers is actually very good for you.
Well, reading in general is good for you. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, probably reading physical books is
yeah.
probably better than reading on the screen.
Some of these complaints by Grace Randolph reek of desperation to find issues with a trailer widely regarded as good.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's very nitpicky. Like if you're supposed to be judging a trailer, he's almost jumping, again, pun intended, she's jumping the gun and she's saying things where it's like, well, again, we don't know that. You have to watch the movie and find that out. But you're judging it based on things that we don't know. right? And it's a
This
trailer. It's supposed to be a teaser. You're supposed to be intrigued. You're supposed to be like, what is this? You
this
know,
is a
like
winning
it should have been
comment.
judging the trailer as a trailer instead of judging it as I've watched the movie already, or
Yeah,
this
that's
is
just
the
shows.
movie and we're only watching it in parts. Like that to me was not fair at all.
This is this is this is the comment right here, right here, right here. The Craven one. This is the same person who was praising Craven the Hunter last week.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yo, she's. Oh man, I'm okay, guys. I have to really eat, but I do have to eat dinner. I know the Grassy. I know the NHL is going there, but man, yeah, I'm review blinded after watching that. Yeah, she's not gonna like the movie.
Yeah, she set herself up to not liking the movie. It would be surprising if she changes her mind, and but it's we know that she doesn't like James Gunn because of certain reasons. So it's hard. It's going to be hard to really, you know, take a lot of her criticism seriously.
Yeah, she's she can't let it go. And some of the stuff she says in this trailer, is ridiculous.
Yeah, it
And,
is ridiculous.
and she went stop for stop every single scene. Uh, and there wasn't, and she's put Easter eggs in the trailer. There's no fucking Easter eggs in that. She didn't show any Easter eggs.
Yeah, she didn't talk about Easter eggs. That's another thing too.
Yeah,
That was all just criticism, criticism.
yeah, there was nothing Easter egg in that. Man, man, I don't know what else to say. It's just you can't take Grace seriously, obviously, but a lot of people watch her. But I think people are starting to turn on her.
Yeah, of course.
Like you're seeing it, you're seeing it, you're seeing it. She just has a different, very viewpoint on movies and stuff, and she's, I don't
She
know.
has again. She everybody has their own taste, and but my criticism or taste and opinions, right? But as someone who's supposed to be you're an insider, you're giving your analysis and you're talking about things in a way where, you understand the language of film and you understand filmmaking. It just comes across like she doesn't know how to explain certain
Yeah,
aspects of her criticism. She doesn't even understand what she's saying. Like again, AI, like something can be AI, but like, okay, what is the negative of it, right? Because we all know that they are using AI for all this stuff. You can use AI in a way that, it still
yeah, she's
complements
living
your
wrong.
art. You could, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to, if you're gonna say some of these critiques, you have to go in depth. And also, you kind of have to be fair, right? Like, you could play
Yeah,
devil's advocate, sure, but like, you can't always just be ragging on the movie. Like,
she usually she usually goes in depth. Cappy is the one that doesn't go in depth.
yeah, yeah. This was just her just losing it
Yeah,
on
she's,
the movie.
and you know what? It was misleading too because she said in the beginning of this video that she's excited to watch this movie, but then you watch what she talked about the trailer. Yeah, it doesn't sound like she's excited.
No.
Like, yeah, she's a liar. She's, I don't know. I wouldn't call her a liar. I just call her misleading. It's don't take her. The only thing is she does get me views. All right, Degrassi. Blindon, what do you have up? You're streaming
I'm not
tonight.
streaming. I'm just gonna be playing. No,
Um,
no stream.
so I know Joey's not going to be talking, but what happened with that saga? Did he keep
Oh,
going
the
back?
Joey saga. It was just some guy who wanted to play as Jeff the Landshark. I was playing as Jeff the Landshark, and then he said that I sucked after the game, right? And so I was fuming, right? I was like, screw this guy. Let's go after this guy for fun. Because he was crying about playing Jeff the Landshark. And then it turned out it's like, okay, for a guy who wanted to play Jeff the Landshark, you barely play him. You're also not even, the level I'm at. So we were like, oh, we should get him
Oh
into the
Lord,
party. Everybody in the chat wanted him in the party, but he kind of like chickened out, or he said, nah, you're trash. I don't want to talk to you or something like that. So
oh Lord.
so yeah, it's like he didn't want the smoke, I guess.
He's a gamer. He's like one of
Yeah,
the
we saw well, I saw because they didn't see it. His I mean, the guy just plays Call of Duty and stuff, so I'm not surprised. It's like these people tend to just shit talk, and then you go and look, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't even fucking play the game, bro." Like, what are you talking?
Oh
There's a
yeah,
lot of people in Marvel Rivals that are just like tryhards. They just like love telling people are trash, and then you go and look at them. It's like, bro, you're not even playing the game,
it's
bro.
nice.
Like,
I mean, that's what I like Marvel Rivals, but sometimes I just hate people online sometimes.
yeah, people online are really annoying. And then for me, it's like, yo, I would confront you, right? I don't mind talking to you, but they don't want to do that, right? They just
And the
want to
worst
sit
is,
behind the keyboard and say
and the
that.
worst is kids too, man.
Yeah, the kids. Yeah, I don't know if he was a kid, but again, it's like
He's not a kid. I can tell you that. No kid
I
has the
don't know.
amount of
Who
hours
knows?
playing video games. No kid
He
has the
doesn't have a
amount.
lot of hours though in the game.
No, but like from the other games you described, no kid does that. They have
Maybe, but kids
school,
play Call of Duty and Fortnite, right?
but if they have school and other stuff, there's no way you could play like.
Maybe, I don't
Kid,
know. Who knows?
a kid should not be playing Call of Duty.
If he was a kid and he said that, then yeah, I would have left, obviously. But I have no clue. He could be a kid. But that's why I'm like, these, I don't know, they just talk a lot of trash, and you're like, you're gonna
Yeah,
lose some games. You're not gonna be the best player all the time. Like, it's a fucking game. Just have fun.
yeah, man. It's not. It's a video game.
Yeah, you're not getting paid. You're not getting, you know what I mean? Like, relax. Some of these dudes, I just feel like they just, I don't know. It's like their
It's a
their
good thing.
whole
Good
life is
thing.
around this shit.
It's a good thing. There's no They don't have voice
They
yet.
do have voice. They do. You have
Now?
to turn it on. Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
I guess I didn't turn it on. I don't think I.
Yeah. Take it off. Don't leave it on because trust me, you're gonna get a lot of weirdos.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
keep
would
that on.
even turn off the chat too. When I stream, maybe I'll keep it on so then we could see
Then we could. Yeah,
who's
we could
gonna.
roast the people.
Yeah, we can roast them. But yeah, a lot of weirdos online. So
Yeah, DeGrasse, get Marvel Rivals. We can play together.
oh
DeGrasse
man,
is not gonna get it. All right, Blind. I'll let you play because I do gotta eat some dinner, man. It's almost 7. Um,
yeah.
I expected to go 3 hours. It was gonna be a long stream because it's a
Is it?
long.
Has it been 3 hours? Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
has.
yeah,
You started at 4 though, right?
yeah. I started at 3:35 or three
Oh,
forty
okay.
five. I started a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, before I end, I do like your avatar, Christmas Joe
Oh yeah, the
Rogan.
Christmas Joe Rogan, the elf. Even though
Yeah.
Joe Rogan says he's 5'8", he's not 5'8".
Oh, I heard he's really, really short.
And he's probably like 5'6", I guess.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you guys
All
for
right.
coming on.